And I'm gonna do some readings. I'm gonna do some with the new deck, but I'm also gonna combine it with the Oversoul deck that I have that's just personal to me. So that's exciting. And I've did a couple already, so I'm excited about that. Hey, Nikki. Okay. So yeah, so I got my Oversoul deck over the weekend, y'all. I'm so freaking excited. Look how gorgeous she is. And I want to show y'all compared to like my other deck. The reason why I got these cards to be glossy, or I got ordered them glossy, is because when you don't, they kind of like start to tear apart a little bit. You know, like any playing deck or any card or whatever, they start to kind of tear apart. So this deck is shiny. It's laminated so that it doesn't tear as easy. So I got YouTube over here, y'all. So if y'all see me looking over this way, it's because people are on YouTube. You see? And imagery, fire. Fire, look at our knight. Look at him. Come on now. Period. You know, let me turn this light on because maybe I need some more light up in here. Okay. But yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. You know, very beautiful deck. You know. Yeah. Look at one of my faves. I'm not taking anybody to co-host, y'all. You see? Gorgeous. Yes, it is more durable. Hey, Nicole. It is. And like I've been pulling out every day. I've been using the deck, and I like the. I didn't get like super big tarot cards because you know some of them are like enormous. Let me show you. Hold on. Because I got 1,000 decks, y'all. Like the decks don't stop. But this one, these cards are huge. This is Intuition Oracle. How big cards are? Like, why is they this big? My hands can barely wrap around this. What do you mean? But so I made them a good size, you know, regular tarot deck size, and then I laminated them so that they last longer. And then they don't have a box or nothing like that, like other boxes or like other cards, because I want them to be like literally you can just take them where you go. Just a quick little, you know, and you can put them in your purse if you want to. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna do a couple free readings today. And then I'm gonna do some paid readings too. So the readings are one card pool is $11. I didn't get to put that in the caption, y'all, but the one card pool is $11. Hey Tony. It's $11, a 3-card pool, which is gonna be where you were, what the energy you're coming out of. Then it's gonna be the energy you're in currently, and then where you're going on your remembrance path. So it's gonna be kind of like a trajectory. And then the 7-card pool is really 7 cards and up. But it's a full reading plus the Oracle deck reading as well, which is the deck that is my personal thing. It can tell you some of your gifts. You know, the Spiral Teacher is a gift. It can tell you lineages and stuff like that you may be tapping into. And we talked about like playing lineages in the Lens series, and specific lineage. It just means that that's the energy that's coming up in your field right now. So most people have 1 to 3 primary lineages, okay? And some people rarely have up to 5, right? But then you have 3 to 12 frequencies or lineages that might come depending on who you encounter, right? Things that kind of come up throughout your field, but it's not your main energy, okay? My deck is still in the packaging. It is an artifact. If you just want to collect it and buy another one, that's okay. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so you have 3 to 12 primary lineages that come up based on like who you meeting. You know, like some you're born have like contracts with other people, and so you have something imprinted on your auric field, and that's why when you date people, you don't get the same person as this person over here, and it's because they were supposed to acknowledge you that you're supposed to transmute, right? So that could be it could be 3 to 12 plus of these other frequencies. So yes, there's a chance that you might encounter some of these frequencies, but it's just telling you what frequency you are in right now. What I'm excited about tomorrow is that I started offering the flame readings. meaning like there's 3 different tiers of the flame readings. You can also get a full reading like this with the cards. I think that's 88, but I have a 3-tier flame reading package where I do flame mapping for you. And I tell you what energies and codes and things like that based off of what you're experiencing. It is like, if you do tier 1, it's about, I think, a 60-minute call. If you do tier 2, it's like 90 minutes to 2 hours. And if you do tier 3, it's 3 sessions. So 3 sessions that are almost like 2 hours a piece, where I'm telling you, what your flame lineage is and stuff like that. Your soul contracts, your soul vows, all of the things. So I actually was able to put that up this weekend. So I did about doing our Atlantis series because I'm kind of break, at 14 weeks I burn out. And I mean, I burn out with everything. So I didn't even yesterday get on to do the sound bowls because I'm just tired, but readings I don't mind. Everything else feels taxing. But tomorrow what I'm going to do is I'm going to call somebody up and I'm going to show you guys that specific service. And it's going to be the initiation reading. So I'm going to give somebody a free reading. And basically the initiation is identifying the original flame lineage. Hold on. Let me look at my notes real quick. So it's basically like an intake. I'll ask you a couple questions that will let me know like what lineages you are experiencing or you have experienced throughout your life. So I'll be identifying those, and then I'll do some confirmation, which is going to either be cards or like just tapping into your energy. And I was excited about the whole service before, and I'm really excited to give away to somebody, and it's I think it's like 144 because the 144 is the price of the service, but it is an initiation service. And then once if you receive an initiation service or any of the other flame reading services from me, I also have a new group available on Patreon, and it's called the Mirror Flame Circle. And in this group, is $44 a month, I believe. And you'll get access to me. You'll get readings once a month to where it's just y'all live, so anybody who's in that group will get a reading from me once a month. It will be in a live setting, period. It will be in a live setting, but then we also do collective work together. So on astrological points, like for example, I'll have a collective thing for us to do on August 20th. Which is a huge point, so it's a great day for us to alchemize some collective grief. And so we'll do like work together, clearings and stuff like that. Yes, I know a lot about astrology. So we're going to do like some collective work together in that group. Also, hold on, let me. Hold on, y'all. I want to make sure I'm giving y'all the right information before I jump into the readings. Yeah, so let me the community is group transmission. So basically you'll get like a collective reading each week. And then you'll also get astrologically aligned sessions where we do collective work, but you'll also get support during your remembrance. So the whole point of this flame initiation section or product is to help you back on your path to remembrance for those people who don't. So my life path 7, my name also has a connection to 7. Is there a way to find out? That's probably energy. Your name would have your life path. It would be, they both would be connected, but it's because you fall underneath the 7 energy. You just need to look up numerology and look up the number 7. It's the number of the philosopher, the thinker, the number that is trying to discover what's hidden. It's probably the energy you fall underneath. It's one of my special skills, energy. 2 times I heard August 20th date. My friend got her plane ticket to her mother's homeland, who has long passed. Yeah, it's actually it's a threshold that we're walking through on August 20th. So it's going to be a great day for us to do collective healing. So we'll do that in that group setting. But when it comes to the flame readings, so the first tier is the initiation flame reading. It's 144. It's 45 minutes to 60 minutes. Identification of primary flame lineage, light and shadow aspects, gift identification. So talking about your gifts and stuff like that. And then guidance for your next step or integration. Once you get that initial reading, I would suggest getting into the Flame group. It's $44 a month, but it's just so, in between sessions, in between tiers, in between, whatever it is that you're doing, it helps you figure out where you are at continuous help. Because I get a lot of people who want to do multiple readings or want to, do a reading a month or whatever it is. Like, that's just a way for us to do that and still do collective healing. So it's kind of like a private group. Nobody can enter that group who has not, went through at least an initiation reading. And then the second one is the full flame mapping and oversoul activation. This is 90 minutes to 2 hours. It's the primary and secondary lineage decoding, oversoul frequency patterning, which is basically telling you like what tones fall underneath what oversouls you might have, you might be embodying. And then soul contract review as well, which is looking at what soul contracts or vows that you made previous to this life, give activation and shadow patterning, ritual suggestions, and healing integration. So I'll basically be giving you like a PDF for you to, start implementing stuff into your journey, right? This is the second tier. And the third tier is, it's a 3 session spread out over a month. And it's full flame and oversoul mapping, coaching and life embodiment. Over those weeks, I'll be coaching. So you'll get a chat that is just between me and you, sacred vow signature retrieval, and we'll kind of be rewriting some of your sacred vows through that, support through your shadow transits, meaning like as you're navigating, as this stuff is coming up, I'll be helping you kind of navigate that, and then also customize rituals, recordings, and mirror practices and stuff for you to do as well. So amazing service. Tomorrow I'm going to do a free version of the initiation flame reading. And today, whoever, wants to do the full reading will get the flame reflection reading. This is exactly what I would do in the flame reflection reading, which is the $88. And you can get those at your will. I'm restructuring everything. So human design is almost done. Actually, it really is done. So I'll be doing like oversoul, energetic, write-ups and stuff from the human design side. And I'm probably going to drop the old human design altogether, meaning like I won't be doing it from the mental perspective anymore. I'll only be doing it from flame lineage perspective. So that's coming in this week as well. And the podcast is coming back. So if y'all didn't catch the Atlantis series, I am uploading it now to the podcast platform. So that'll be dropping tomorrow. But yeah, those are all the things. Does anybody want a reading? I'm going to do a free reading first, and I'm going to do three readings in this live. What it called? What's called? The deck or what I'm talking about? Oh, the podcast, Becoming No One by Taja Moore. If you go to my website, it's all like scroll to the bottom, it's all there. Thank you, BJ. So I'm actually going to give y'all I'm going to select a person for a reading, but I need to ask a question. So name, a reading. I'm about to do some reading. So there's some for purchase. You can do a 1-card pull for $11, a 3-card pull for $22, and a full reading for $33, and that includes 2 decks. I would love a flame reading. I can't wait until the reading is going to be the reading that I'm doing today is the cards, but the thing that I just explained to y'all, the new service that I have, is going to be something I'm going to do a free one tomorrow on live, but I'm not doing that today. Okay, so name a Jamie Foxx song. Whoever is the first person to name a Jamie Foxx song will get a free reading. And I'm doing 3 of these. So, just stay on the live and we can get to you. If anybody. Blame it. Okay, Jayla. Jayla named it first. So we're going to do a reading for Jayla. She named Blamed It too. Blame it on the alcohol. That's T-Pain. Is it? Oh, no, it is. Hold on. Blame it on the goose. Got you feeling loose. Blame it on the got me in the zone. Blame it on the Yeah. That's the one. Okay. Jayla. So we're gonna do a 7-card pull here, okay? And how I'm gonna do it is I'm pulling up my website because this is what I want y'all to do. As y'all are doing this, no, you're not wrong, Nikki Nix, you're not wrong. But I'm gonna website. I'm doing this because this is how I want y'all to read this deck while y'all are learning it, because of this Oversoul Codex is to teach you the path back to remembrance. Okay, so you need to read the full thing. You need to ingrain it in your brain. Okay, so we're gonna start ingraining it in your brain today. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull your cards, Jayla. So the first thing that I want to figure out is what are the main things that are coming up in your life. Okay, and I'm gonna do a 3-card pull for that. And this is the full reading. Okay, so that's 1 card. What are the main things that are coming up in Jayla's life? Is my music too loud? Oh wow, you got a lot of stuff coming up with other people. Okay, King of Waters. Okay, there's a need to master your emotions. But let's start with that. Okay, so this first part, identifying the things that are happening in your life right now. Okay, so the first is the 6 of Stones. All right, and this is the 6 of Stones, just so y'all can see the sacred exchange. I hope it's not too dark over here. I don't know if I need to put y'all closer to the light or not. Okay, but this is the six of Stones. Okay, so this card came out upright. The 6 of Stones is the moment where energy begins to flow again. Okay, it's where what was once withheld now returns in sacred rhythm. We can see. Okay. Is this music loud, y'all? TikTok. Okay, cool. All right, so the 6 of Stones is the moment where your energy begins to flow again. It's where what you once withheld now returns in sacred rhythm. It is a card of reciprocity, though. Not no music is good. Okay. Um, this is a card of reciprocity, not as transaction, but as mutual recognition of worth, meaning that people need to be giving back to you as much as you give to them. Like people need to be acknowledging your worth just as much as you acknowledge theirs. Okay. It honors the sacred exchange between beings, between soul offerings, and those meant to receive them. When you pull this card, you may find yourself in a season of balanced giving. You may be asked to receive support without guilt or give it from overflow rather than obligation. Your soul work is worthy of compensation. Your presence is deserving of rest, and your body is worthy of care. The sacred exchange affirms that resources are not inherently scarce. They move where they are welcomed, valued, and honored. This card invites you to bless the flow, speak your needs, and engage in aligned offerings. Okay. So, what this lesson of this card is your gifts were meant to move through others, not stay caged within you. Okay. So that's the first card. That's the theme that's coming up. So what you need to do is make sure that you're engaging in relationships that are pouring back into you. But not only that, in order for you to receive and flow, you have to be open to receiving. Okay. So it has to be an even exchange as well. Okay. Usually the stone cards are similar to Earth in tarot or the Pentacles in tarot. So it could also be about finances. Okay. So that's the first theme that's coming up. All right. The second one is the 3 of Waters. Look at how gorgeous them guys is. Period. And they look like us. Gorgeous black queens of all flavors. Of all flavors. Okay. So the next card is the 3 of Waters. Okay. The 3 of Waters appears when there's a ceremonial return of togetherness. It marks the joy of reunion when kindred souls come together, not for survival, but for celebration. You may find yourself entering into a sacred circle, a creative collaboration, a spiritual gathering, or a joyful friendship that feels like home. In this card, we witness the emotional relief of being known. You no longer have to translate your frequency. There is laughter, tenderness, and sacred memory. This is not ordinary community. It is soul family drawn together by the river of remembrance. You are invited to honor joy as ceremony and to trust that you don't have to walk your path in isolation. Let others witness your blooming. let joy be shared. Okay, so what this lesson of this card is that joy deepens when it is witnessed. Okay, so what this card is telling you is that it's okay to experience joy, right? It's okay to let people in. You don't have to do everything alone. You don't have to isolate. Okay, when you are vulnerable, you welcome in the people who are for you. Okay, and the last card is the King of Waters. Okay, this is the king. Yes, beautiful black man. Zeus ain't got shit on him. Okay, Poseidon ain't got shit on him. Okay, so the King of Waters is the next card. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm hot. It's hot outside. Everything's hot. This card is about emotional mastery, though. Okay, which means that that's what's needed in order for you to receive in flow and in alignment, and in order for you to be vulnerable, ask for help, and welcome in the right people. You have to learn to master your emotions. Okay. This resonates very well so far. I really like this deck. Clock it. Okay. But this is the King of Waters. Okay. So the King of Waters is about emotional mastery. Okay. So the King of Waters is the mature flame of the emotional realm, a guide, a steward, and a quiet force of depth and grace. He has faced grief and joy, longing and loss, and has not turned away. Instead, he has learned how to hold it all and to lead from a place of stillness. Okay. This card appears when you are ready to embody emotional integrity, to speak with compassion without collapsing, to support others without self-erasure, meaning that you're not trying to make yourself small. You are speaking your truth, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's not convenient, right? You are being called to bring your full emotional intelligence into form, not as reaction, but as presence, meaning you need to sit in present with your emotions. So that means you got to be less reactive. You got to maybe walk away from those situations that are heated, but you always come back because you have to speak your piece. And those who are going to support you are going to require you to be less, right? That's what this card is really teaching you. So the king teaches you that true strength comes from not from hardening, but from learning how to feel with discernment. Empathy is best used with discernment, right? So what this card is telling you is it's okay for you to feel. You don't have to feel less. You feel and use discernment, okay? So he models what it means to respond but not absorb. And he shows you that love, when anchored in wisdom, can transform you, okay? What a lot of people do when they go through trauma and hurt and grief is they close off, they harden, right? Out of protection for themselves. But what this card is telling you is that real emotional intelligence doesn't come from reaction. It doesn't come from you hardening. It comes from you sitting present with your emotions, you allowing your emotions, which are meant to provide you understanding in this reality, to guide your decisions, to guide your boundaries, to guide your communication. Okay. So the lesson here is that emotional power is not loud. It is steady. Okay. So those are the three things. You got to how to let things in, right? It's about alignment. It's about exchange. Everything needs to happen in exchange. But it's also about making sure that you don't feel like you need to do it alone. You don't self-isolate out of protection for yourself, or because you feel like you don't have the right supportive circle around you. When you remain open, that's when they come. And the last one is the mastery of emotions. Okay. Those are the three things that are coming up in your life. All right. So next is, where are you right now on your journey? Okay. Where's Jayla on her journey? Ooh. Where's Jayla on her journey? Okay. Soul contract. A soul contract is coming up that needs to be cleared. What's this soul contract around? The Seven of Waters. Okay. This is good stuff. I just want to say, so this is the card of soul contract. The soul contract, okay? All right, so there's a soul contract that's coming up for you now, Jayla. And the soul contract card speaks of divine agreements written before incarnation, those between souls, lineages, or even timelines. When this card appears, you are being called to remember something that's unfolding now that was chosen before you got here, okay? The soul contract arrives when you are being asked to remember the why beneath your incarnation. Before this lifetime, your Oversoul inscribed certain agreements into your auric field, some related to healing, others to service, and many to divine timing. When this card appears, those contracts are now activating or resurfacing. There is a contract at play that holds evolutionary weight. Okay, you may be called to complete something begun long ago, perhaps in your past life or in the astral realm before birth. This may also be the moment you name what you came here to do, not in a performative way, but as a sacred vow rising in your bones. Okay, it may involve a soul relationship, a sacred duty, or a life theme repeating in unmistakable ways. This card asks you to pause and inquire or in this lifetime. I'm sorry, I got to stop real quick. This is something that keeps repeating. Okay. Sorry. What am I bound to complete? Not as punishment, but as sacred fulfillment. This card also indicates a contract with another soul, someone you are meant to walk with, a mentor, be mentored by, or untangle karmic alongside. There may be moments of deja vu, sudden clarity, or deep inner knowing that you've been here before. The soul contract is rarely loud, but it's never unsure. This is a card of remembrance. When aligned, it brings clarity, resolve, and deepens your sense of spiritual purpose. You may not always like the contract, but you will feel the truth in it in your bones. Okay, so the lesson here is that you chose this not as punishment, but as purpose. You agreed to this path. Review your soul vow with reverence. Okay, so this is what she's dealing with right now. This is the contract that's coming up. The Seven of Waters. Okay, the Seven of Waters is what's coming up. Okay, now, girl, we got some talking to do. Okay. So the Seven of Water, so this is emotional energy. This is an emotional contract. Hey, Chloe. The Seven of Water reveals a moment of choice within a field of emotional possibilities. You may be faced with many paths, people, or soul desires. And yet the more you look, the harder it becomes to feel clear, meaning confusion. Confusion, okay? This card arrives when your heart is stirred, but your discernment is clouded. You don't know what direction to go. Okay, not every cup is meant to be drunk from. You are not meant to drink from everything that appears in your reality right now, because there's still some illusion that is coming through. Okay, some are offerings and some are distractions, telling you to choose wisely what you entertain right now. Some are mirrors of your unspoken longing. This is a sacred moment of emotional sorting. The waters shimmer with fantasy, potential, illusion, and truth, but only one leads deeper into remembrance. You are being asked to slow down and feel beneath the surface of your desires. Which path feels like soul resonance, not ego escape? Okay? Because your ego wants to escape. Got a little bit of escapism, right? Now understand, desire is holy, but it's only holy when it's truly yours, when it belongs to you. It hasn't been influenced by something outside of you. All right. So the themes in your life are here. What's coming up for you right now is a soul contract around confusion, around distractions, around you choosing wisely. What's the next step on her path to remembrance? What does she need to do right now? Okay, the Queen of Stones. Girl, I might have been pulling cards for you all damn week. At this point, what else? You need the two main things she needs to do right now. Okay, the distortion mask. Okay, my love. Yes. Okay, so we get the Queen of Stones. I actually did. This was my card for the day. If y'all have been keeping up, the Queen of Stones. All right, now the Queen of Stones is flame in form. Okay, an archetype of embodied sovereignty rooted deeply in her truth and able to nourish others without abandoning herself. Okay. She mirrors what it looks like to live aligned with your body, your values, and your work in this world, not through performance, but through presence. Again, presence, which means you got to feel the things. That's what presence means. It means to feel the things, not to run away from them. Okay? This queen knows that true abundance begins within. She tends to herself with reverence so that what overflows from her can be freely given, meaning that you can't give what you don't have. Okay, you take care of you first and you give from your overflow. That's where you be generous from. But it's not both of, if I got $50, I give you 25, I have 25. You prioritizing somebody else's well-being over your own, right? So this is saying, oh, you only can give when you're in a state of abundance. That also is mental energy, right? If somebody call you and they going through it, baby, I'm going through it right now. I can't even hear you. There's a voice in the back of my head that's telling me I got to get some money. I can't hear what you're saying, right? So her energy is magnetic, it's stabilizing, and is deeply nurturing to those around her. Now, if we're talking about her energy being magnetic, where does magnetism come from? It comes from your heart space and it comes from your wound. What does that mean? You need to be moving with your body and from your body and not your mind. Your mind is your worst enemy. Okay? Your mind is electric. Your heart and your womb are magnetic. That means slow down and feel into things, right? And she's deeply nurturing to those around her, but it does not come from martyrdom. It comes from rootedness, meaning rooted. She is rooted in herself. When you pull this card, you're being invited into a deeper relationship with your body, your worth, and your sacred work. It may be time to claim space, to receive, or to embody your wisdom more publicly. You're not just here to give, you are here to thrive in your own radiance. Okay, so the lessons from this card is to nourish others sustainably. You must become your own sanctuary. You got to put your mask on first. If you're going to be any help to anybody else, okay, you got to put your mask on first. And so the last card is the distortion mask. Okay, so this is again a card of distractions. This is again a card of distractions. Look at her. Ain't she gorgeous? Baby, I know I did my thing. I did my thing. Okay, so this card is it appears when you are ready to pierce through spiritual illusion. This is the flame bearer's right of clarity, right? Because the card, the contract is around confusion, right? So the distortion mask is the clarity. All right. This is the right to clarity. The moment you begin to see what is not aligned, even when it looks radiant on the surface, the distortion mask reveals itself when you are ready to see beyond illusion, especially the illusions you worn as protection. Meaning that some of the things that you're probably doing right now are because of trauma. Okay, thank you, Chloe. Thank you, Chloe, girl. Clark it. All right. Some of the things that you're doing right now is probably because of trauma. You think, but what you got to realize when the distortion mask comes up is that your circumstances have changed, and some of us just carry on our trauma as we continue to go, and we carry it with us through our entire life without ever alchemizing the emotional energy behind it, so that we can effectively use it. Right. So the distortion mask is the moment you begin to see what is not aligned, even when it looks radiant on the surface. The distortion mask reveals itself when you're ready to see beyond illusion, especially the illusions you've worn as protection. This card reflects the unconscious patterns, personas, and mimicries you've carried to stay safe, accepted, or in control. And some of the things that people say, people think, especially when they got service energy, because we're talking about service energy, obviously. We're talking about other people, because that's what the beginning energy was about, right? Is that in order for you to be accepted, you have to give without boundaries. Okay? You got to keep showing up for people, even when you don't have it. Okay? So you may be encountering mimic codes, teachings, guides, or inner beliefs that wear the costume of light, but carry agendas, fears, or distortion underneath. Sometimes this card represents external figures, false mentors, distorted movement, or flame teachers rooted in control. But often it's about your inner mimic, the voice that imitates clarity but arises from fear, ego, and trauma. Okay, this card does not arrive to shame you but to liberate you. The moment you recognize illusion is the moment you reclaim your sovereignty. The bearer is learning discernment, how to feel resonance rather than just believe appearances, which means you got to feel into it. Okay, it's another card that says you got to feel it to heal it. All right, you're being initiated into spiritual sovereignty through the fire of discernment. At a soul level, the mask may have once been a survival strategy. Perhaps it helped you navigate early environments or distortive spiritual spaces, but now no longer serves your oversoul truth. You're being asked to gently remove what is false, to sit with the discomfort of not knowing, and to trust that your true essence will rise without force, okay? So to sit in the comfort of not knowing is really telling you that the path in front of you is not going to be clear, but that does not mean that you stop and you don't move. Okay. As you move, the path is going to become clear to you. So that means that you need to trust yourself to guide yourself. You need to trust in your intuition to lead the way and know that you are capable of handling anything that comes your way. But don't shut down. Okay. And to trust that your true essence will rise without force. Okay. This is a card of radical honesty. Who did you become in order to belong? And who are you when the mask is gone? The lesson is not all that shines is true. Trust the fire, not the mask, meaning appearances don't matter. What do you feel? See what's real beneath the projection. Truth frees the soul. Okay, so now, my love, the ritual. And there's two rituals that you can do when it comes to this card. The first one is to sit before a mirror and light a single candle. I would choose a white candle, or you can choose a pink candle because pink is the color of service. Okay, gaze into the reflection, not the surface, but beyond it, and ask, where have I followed what was not mine? Where have I doubted what was? If you cry, let yourself cry. If you start to tremble, let yourself tremble. Whatever comes up, let it come up. Place your hands on your heart and say, I reclaim my inner flame. I see with sovereign eyes. Okay, that's you reclaiming yourself. You reclaiming your purpose. Okay, Nicole, period. Because you probably feel directionless and out of control because you're waiting for something in your environment to happen instead of taking control. Okay. The second thing that you can do when you're trying to unmask the reflection, okay, because that first ritual is about you getting in alignment. This is unmasking the reflection, okay? So sit in front of a mirror with a gentle lighting so you can keep the same camera, gaze into your own eyes and speak. I release the need to be who I am not, okay? Mirror work is so important, especially if you look into your left eye, okay? I release the need to be who I am not. Okay, one by one, name the roles or beliefs you are ready to shed. And after each one, breathe out and imagine the mask dissolving, ending with my essence is enough. Okay, I am that I am, and that is enough. Okay, so that's the reading, Jayla. She said, what's crazy is I've been playing reciprocate over and over for the past 2 days. It makes sense, period, baby. All right, so let me do a couple of card pullings for you from the Flame Lineage deck. And then if someone wants to get a reading, just let me know. Again, 1 card pulls are going to be $11. 3 card pulls, which is just the past you, what energy you came out of, where you are right now, and what you're looking forward to, 22. And then a full reading is 33. I'm going to do 2 more readings for free during this live as well. It really resonated, Ty. It also made me feel really good about where I am. Oh, good, because period. You know, this deck is about you remembering yourself. This deck is supposed to be uplifting. It is supposed to empower you. That's all I ever want to do is empower you to be more yourself. I don't need you to be me. I don't need you to be anybody else. You know, so when I created this, I thought about me being on my journey and me not having no elders, me not having nobody I could turn to. And it was really confusing to try to figure that out by myself. So I created something to where people won't have to do that. Okay, we get the Emerald Flame. This is ancestor energy for sure. So this is womb wisdom, which makes sense because you got a lot of womb energy. And let's see what else is coming out for you. So the Emerald Flame is about womb wisdom and earth stewardship, meaning you got to get rooted into the earth, which makes sense. You got the Queen of Stone, which is about the earth. This is a temple body anchor and root gate holder, okay? This energy is embodied healing and remembrance through touch. So you probably need to garden, you probably need to put your feet in the grass or something like that. But this energy tends to dissociate from the body. And it also tends to neglect the nourishment of itself. Okay. Yes, I grounded in the rain yesterday. That's something I want to keep doing. Yes, keep doing that, my love. Let me see. Okay. 1 more card came out. And it's the Flame of Lineage Return. It reveals the lineage most active in this lifetime may differ from your origin. This is the flame you are here to embody now. It's talking about embodiment. Here we go. We have another card about embodiment. Okay, and y'all know this deck is my deck, my personal deck. Yeah, the Flame of Lineage Origin. Again, reveals the primary lineage of the soul. First carries the ancient soul form. You are remembering who you were before you came here. All of that is coming up for you right now. Okay, and the last card, the Flame of Doubt. Questioning your path or your to flame. The message is doubt is not your enemy. It is asking for realignment. If that don't wrap up this entire reading, I don't know what will. Okay. So, does anybody want to read it? Beautiful deck and reading. I'll do the 3 for 22. Okay. So let me put my Cash App is Big Taj with 3 J's. And then my Zelle is tajamore16@gmail. I'm putting it in the comments for y'all real quick. Hold on, y'all. But remember, I can't pin this, so y'all gonna have to write it down. Y'all gonna have to write it down now. Deserve you, Destin. We don't deserve you. I don't know if it's gonna show up though, y'all, because you know how it be. It's weird on TikTok. So I'm gonna try to put it there, but y'all gonna have to tell me if y'all see it or not. Can y'all see that? TikTok? Yes, I'll be purchasing the deck for sure. Period. I actually have the deck for pre-order. If y'all wanna, if enough people want to, for pre-order, you can get it for $33. Just right now, if I purchase it, I'm gonna have to come out of pocket, and I don't want to do that. Don't see anything. Okay, so my Cash App is Big Taj, BIGTAJJJ, and my email is Tajamore, TAJAMOORE16@gmail. So I can. All right. Okay. Somebody just bought a deck. Period. Love that for you. I literally had so many people reach out to me today and say that they received their deck. Tell me when you sent it, Adrena. Won't you please? In the middle, we can listen to Destin. I love Destin. Do we have any Destin Conrad fans in the audience? Delusional. I can never get enough. He has never released a song that has not spoken to my soul. Like, I love people who are lyricists, like people who actually put emotion into their music. Otherwise, I don't want it. I don't want it. Can I Zelle? I don't use it. Cash App. Yeah, that's fine. My Zelle is in the comments. It's the email that I put in the comments. TAJAMOORE16@gmail. Hey, love. Mirror Maid. I hope I didn't say your name wrong. I'm sorry. You have any insight on quality hand motion as it relates to energy points and mudras? Yeah, this is the mudra for knowledge and oversoul embodiment. Okay, so order now means you come out of pocket. Pre-order means cheaper price and you don't come out of pocket. So no, the pre-order you will pay $33, and the regular deck is $58 with shipping and handling, but that varies. You know, it depends on where you're sending it. Like 58 is on the high side, 56 is on the low side. It just depends on where you're sending it. Usually it's cheaper to send it East Coast than it is out to California, but it's only like a difference of like $2. But 33 is so that you can purchase it right now on pre-order, and you're just willing to wait until, you know, I get enough people to send y'all the deck. That is on my website, but my website does allow you to make payments because I have Afterpay and Klarna on my website as well, along with PayPal. I was just thinking about that this week, like how clapping activates the hand chakra. Okay, I just didn't want to have to come out of pocket. Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, if you pay on the website, if the manufacturer that I ordered it from, then you have to pay the full price. And I mean, a lot of people are comfortable with that. I mean, it's still the reason why I did it the way that I did it. I try to do it the cheapest way possible. So, oh no, I got a little damage on my card already. I don't like that. I wanted it to stay perfect forever. That makes me sad. I got another deck coming anyways. I don't know why I'm tripping. You know, if you don't support yourself, who will? Go ahead and order your second. I already have, but the back is different. Like this is my energy in spirit that's on the back. I encoded these cards with my energy, you know, and so that's me as my R&I in spirit. And so the other cards that I have a different back, but it's still like a flame. It still looks like this color, but it's just like a flame coming up through the middle. And some of the cards are not perfectly centered, but who cares? They're for me. I might start using that deck though instead of this one. I think I'm gonna need a second LOL. I just don't want to get it messed up. Yeah. Like I tried to like laminate them and like, you know, but they still like playing card type of feel. You know what I'm saying? Like they still, so I mean they still gonna get wear and tear. I just didn't want the front to wear and tear and stuff. So I wanted to kind of lock that in. So we got Adrena getting a 3-card pull. Let me know once you send the payment and I can check on my end. Again, 1-card pulls are $11. 3-card is $22, $33 for a full reading, which is what I just did for Jayla. And I'll do 2 more free readings before I hop off. Y'all know what I've been listening to? I've been listening to that early 2000s music. Real bad. Real bad. I haven't been able to get up off of it. We can go back if y'all want to. Not now, Beyonce. But yeah. And I've been loving it. I've been in my house hooting and hollering. I know my neighbors is tired of me. Prepared to be sick of me. Because I've been in here screaming to the top of my lungs. Sometimes I be beating on the walls, baby. I don't do that when y'all baby over there crying. Don't be coming up here and minding my business. You know? Okay, I just did. Okay, got you. Did I miss anybody else's? Hold on, y'all. Let me check. Okay, so the reading spoke to Nicole too. Period. I ain't nothing like it. That music was so good. It really is. I feel like we don't have no just groundbreaking music no more. Like we don't have none of the good shit. I mean, no, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that because we still have people who are releasing good music. Like that was the playlist I was just playing. Like I think I was listening to Jessie Reyez's album earlier. Because I love all of her music. She's another one who just don't miss for me. But I just feel like it's a different, you know how like when you grow and evolve as a person, you just become different. I feel like music keeps growing and evolving as an entity. I don't necessarily like all the way of where it's going in certain areas of genres, but I think R&B has been pretty consistent, you know. But I'm a lover girl. It don't take nothing from me. You get on that track and you get the whining, and I'm right there with your ass. I'm right there with you. I can't wait to whine and cry. I cannot wait, honey. So yeah. All right. So I'll appreciate for you know. Come on in, come on in, come on in. But yeah. So while we wait on Adrena, I can do another. Oh, never mind. Just kidding. Just got her reading. All right, Adrena. Mario is always going to be my favorite. Yes. The reason why I said, okay, I got it, Andrew. Now I'm about to do you now. The reason why I said that is because I was listening to ask the question about Jamie Foxx because I was listening to Unpredictable earlier. And I was like, wow, you just had to be there. You just really had to be there. Okay, Andrina. So the first card is going to be what energy you're coming from. Okay. What energy you just got out of, okay, or the energy you used to hold in your past, okay? What energy did Adrena hold in the past? Okay. Ooh, you might have been mirroring somebody, my love. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna make it do what it do, baby. Me too, Jamie. Me too. All right, hold on, y'all. Okay, so this is the card that we pulled for Andrina's past. What energy she's coming out of. Okay, this is the Two of Flames. Now, this is my part. Y'all lucky I don't get on the internet hooting and hollering because I would have just ate this up. Okay, unpredictable eats down bad. Period. Okay, so this is the card you're coming from, Andrina. Okay. The spark has found a reflection. The Two of Flame marks a sacred meeting of soul to soul, guide to bearer, or twin to twin. This card signals a moment of resonance where something or someone outside of you mirrors what already burns within. Okay. It may come through a person, a dream, a spirit guide, or an opportunity that echoes your flame back to you with clarity. This is a choice point. Any choice point opens a new timeline, okay? So this is the card we pulled, the Two of Flames. You see the two people mirroring each other, okay? Here you are meant to merge or mimic. I'm sorry. Here you are not meant to merge or mimic, but to discern. Does this reflection serve my becoming? The mirror flame invites mutual awakening, not codependence, meaning that when it really comes to you meeting other people and you getting into a relationship, it's not about these people meeting your needs or you meeting their needs. It's about you meeting your own needs, them meeting their own needs, and y'all coming together in divine union. Okay? So there shouldn't be any codependency in any relationship because each person is tending to their own needs first. Okay? You're being shown the next layer of your path through the flame of another and asked to claim what is yours without losing your center. Meaning, like, I don't know if you're in a situation that swallowed you up or what, but this is the lesson for this card is the truest mirrors do not define you, they remind you. So you could have been getting out of a situation that was a hard situation to navigate. Or this could have been on the opposite side where something has just shown up in your reality that mirrored clarity back to you or mirrored yourself back to you. Okay. The next card is where you are right now in your journey. Yes, unpredictable favorite, but I was thinking gold digger and didn't trust because I wasn't sure if it was Kanye or not. Yeah, it is Jamie and Kanye. I think Kanye like says something in the song or something. But you know which one really got me when it came to Jamie Foxx, y'all? Hold on. Because I just added it to this playlist. Y'all don't know nothing about JoJo and her prom. Yeah, do what it do. And slow. I feel like slow is so slept on. And I'ma go slow. It's the beat. It's the beat to that song. All right. Sorry, Andrina. Let me stop playing with you. I'm a Gemini rising. Okay. Yes, yes. Okay, so that resonates. All right. So let's see where you are right now in your journey. What energy is Andrina in right now? Okay, you got two cards for that one, my love. So we're going to just go ahead and roll with it. Swallow me up and turn my life around. Okay, got you. All right, so we got two energies. We got the Page of Waters and we got the King of Waters, which is emotional mastery. Okay, so these are going to be where you are right now. Now, and so this is about emotional openness and vulnerability. Okay, so the Page of Waters, which is here, look at her. The page energy is usually young energy, okay? Youthful energy. Okay, and there's usually a message that has to come with page energy as well. Okay, so the Page of Waters is the first stir of emotional expression. It's the tender one, learning how to carry the water without spilling it. Okay, you're learning how to carry your emotions. Okay, without emotionally projecting onto other people, without spilling it outside of yourself. Okay, this card signals a time of intuitive awakening, emotional vulnerability, and soft connection. You may be discovering new feelings, a gentle attraction, or receiving soul messages through dreams, art, or inner reflection. Okay? This page is the heart's apprentice. It's curious, it's imaginative, and sometimes shy. They lead with feelings before logic. Okay? So when this card appears, you're being invited into a more tender relationship with your own emotions. Let the inner child speak. Let the soul muse speak. Let love emerge in simple and sacred ways. Okay, so the lesson here is you don't need to be fluent in feeling. You just need to be willing to feel your feelings. Okay, that's the message here. Then we get the king of waters, who is emotional mastery. Okay, we talked about this in Jayla's reading, but I'm going to give it to us again. The king of waters is the mature flame of the emotional realm. He is a guide, a steward, a quiet force of depth and grace. He has faced grief and joy, longing and loss, and has not turned away. Instead, he has learned how to hold it all and to lead from that stillness. Okay? This card appears when you are ready to embody emotional integrity, to speak with passion without collapsing, right? Now you can articulate your emotions, to support others without self erasure, right? Not getting consumed by other people. You are being called to bring full emotional intelligence into form, not as reaction, but as presence. Okay, I mean, you got to sit present with your emotions to see how you feel. This king teaches you that true strength comes from hardening. I'm sorry, does not come from hardening, but from learning how to feel with discernment, meaning empathy is best used with discernment. He models what it means to respond and not absorb. And he shows you that love, when anchored in wisdom, can be transformed. Okay, so this emotional power is not loud, it is steady. Okay, so what is it that Andrina, what stage is Andrina moving towards? What does she need to embody besides emotional mastery? Because, oh, sacred exchange, okay? The sacred exchange, which means you got to be willing to receive, but you need to make sure everything is mutual, okay? So let's talk about this card again. And I'm going to give you the ritual to do for this, okay? Now, the Six of Stone is a sacred exchange. The Six of Stone is the moment where energy begins to flow again, where what was once withheld now returns in sacred rhythm. This is the card of reciprocity, not as transaction, but as mutual recognition of worth, okay? It honors the sacred exchange between beings, between souls, soul offerings, and those meant to receive them. When you pull this card, you make yourself as a season of balanced giving. It's give and take. It's give and take. You may be asked to receive support without guilt, give from overflow rather than obligation. Your soul work is worthy of compensation. Your presence is deserving of rest, and your body is worthy of care. The sacred exchange affirms that resources are not inherently scarce. They move where they are welcome, valued, and honored. This card invites you to bless the flow, speak your needs, and engage in aligned offering, okay? The lesson here is your gifts were meant to move through others, not stay caged within you. Period. I literally called my brother and started singing this song just like right before I hopped on live because so the ritual for you. Okay, well, two cards. Yes, I'm working on myself with human design and a lot of your teachings. Okay, Page and Kings, interesting. Yeah. So the ritual that you want to do here is on one side of a page, you want to write what you offer, what I offer. On the other side, what I receive. Okay. Under each, list your soul gifts, your actions, your resources, and or support that's currently in motion. Okay. Ask, is the flow balanced? Do I receive as generously as I give? Right? Because sometimes this is about you not being able to receive back. Okay. Choose one area to either open to receive or offer with more integrity and speak aloud. I honor the sacred flow. I am worthy of the exchange. Okay. This is the card of reciprocity. You got to make sure you getting back what you putting out. Okay. And every single relationship is actually built on mutual respect and fairness. Okay. Every single relationship. So there has to be a mutual need. I'm a singer at the church too. Okay, I got you. Let me see what this is too, because I think that this yeah, so as I was picking up the deck, I also got the Four of Breath. And so I'm just gonna give you this as well in case this is for you. Okay. This is the Four of Breath. Okay. As I was picking up the deck, this fell out. Okay. So the fourth breath invites you into mental stillness, not because nothing is happening, but because something deeper is trying to reach you. This is the moment when the mind exhales. After conflict, confusion, or inner noise, the soul now asks for space to integrate what has been revealed. You are not disconnected, you are processing. You are not lost, you are listening. This card often appears after a period of mental strain or truth activation. It brings the medicine of pause, solitude, and gentle spaciousness. In this silence, oversoul wisdom begins to rise, not as a shout, but as a hum beneath the thought. The quiet mind is the space between stories where the next chapter begins forming wordlessly. Okay, so the lesson is stillness is not absence, it is where the oversoul speaks the loudest. Worthy of the exchange. Sorry, my send button is testy. It's okay. I don't know. You know what? Keisha don't get enough respect. She really don't. Because she carried. For a little minute, she was carrying. Okay. And let me pull you some extra cards, Andrina, from my personal deck. You can't get this nowhere. You can only get this from me. All right. Okay. This is for Andrina. Okay. That came right on out, didn't it? Okay, we got the amethyst flame. Ooh, and we got the sacred collapse. Okay, so we got the sacred collapse first. The sacred collapse is a sacred unraveling initiated by fire. You are between selves. So this four breath that I just pulled, that would mean between selves. So this is a confirmation. The message, let it fall, your next form is arriving. Meaning like whatever is coming to your life or whatever is leaving your life or trying to leave your life, don't hold on to nothing too tightly. Whatever is meant to leave is going to leave. Whatever's coming back is going to come back. Okay. The next thing that I get is the amethyst flame, which is the flame of alchemy and intuitive pathways. These people are pattern readers and transmutation guides. Okay. They turn poison into medicine and they're really good at spiritually reframing things. Okay. But there is an over identification with wounding and getting stuck in the process. Wow, that was on point. Thank you for that. I'm learning peace and silence is my superpower. Yes, my love. I think that there's something that's arising in your field right now that you need to look at. So you might need to sit in silence or sit in stillness, and just understand that you're in between things. So things may not be working out the way that you want them to work out right now, but you're being formed. Like something is happening behind the scenes. So I would take some time to kind of sit with yourself. Another ritual you can do for stillness is create a quiet, comfortable space. You don't have to light a candle or anything like that, but just no candle, no sound, no nothing. Just sit or lie down with your palms facing upwards and speak. I release the need to figure it out. And then for 11 minutes, breathe with no agenda. Like just literally sit there and focus on your breath. If thoughts come, let them flow through like a cloud. Okay. And afterwards, journal on what arose in that silence. Okay. This ritual allows divine truth to land beyond the mind's control. All right. That card you pulled me last time changed my life. Thank you. It was the contract collapse. Oh, period. I love that. Tell me what happened, girl. What's happened? Or are you willing to share? Do y'all remember this? Tanisha Kelly? Anyway, you just have to be there. I need more millennial friends. So we can just, hang out at my house. I cook dinner and we just scream sing millennial songs. I'm going to do it without y'all regardless. But still, I'm learning peace and silence. Good. Okay. So we have another. Oh, Laura commenting on something that's exciting. Okay. Okay. Are you going to share Oregon or no? Okay. So while we wait, I'll do another free reading. Hot. Like, why is it so fucking hot? I kind of want to be off here before the sun starts setting because I like to watch the sunset. And if you just hopped in, I'm doing 1 card pulls for 11, 3 card pulls for 22, full readings for 33, using my new Oversoul Codex deck. I'm gonna do another free reading. I got a question. Let me see how I'm gonna pick. I kind of wanna. Okay, we're sticking with the songs. Somebody name the first person to name an Avant song. It needs to be a song of him by himself, not any. Well, no, any Avant song. I'm okay with that. It can't be somebody who already got a reading though. Period. Memory. Memory, that was you, girl. You was quick. You was quick with it. All right. Did y'all see that Tanisha Kelly be on live singing? I just sometimes come across her lives and I just pop in real quick to be like, hey girl, what you doing over here, girl? These my people love their music. All right. This is for you, Memory. What things are coming up for Memory right now? Give me 3 things coming up in Memory's life. Ooh. Okay. Something's forming. Okay. 3 things coming up in Memory's life. Okay. Ooh, okay. Okay. I get distracted so easily. It should be studied. All right. She hooped me. How long? I gotta turn it down for a second. All right. So the first card is the Ace of Stone. Okay, this is him. Look at him. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous card. Okay. The Ace of Stones. Okay. Or stone. Singular. All right. This is a card of new beginnings. Okay. The Ace of Stone marks a sacred genesis. A new idea, a gift, or a calling is preparing to be rooted into form. So when you look at this card, he literally is rooting it into form. Okay. This is the moment when something from the unseen realms, an intuition, a vision, or a soul spark descends into the earth's plane. Okay. So something is materializing from that just started as an idea or an intuition or whatever. You are being given a seed. It may be a project, an offering, a business, or a way of life, but it is yours to tend. Okay. This card reminds you that spiritual gifts are meant to be embodied. That the earth wants to hold what you carry. It asks, can you trust yourself to begin? Can you believe your soul is worthy of form? Okay. So when you pull this card, something is ready to be planted. Prepare your inner soul so you can receive it. Nurture the spark. The journey begins with a sacred yes. Okay. The lesson is your gift is real and earth is ready to receive it. So this card is telling you there's a new beginning that's coming in. Will you run away or will you trust your intuition? Will you trust yourself? Okay. The next card I get is the 10 of breath. This is one of my favorite cards just because of the imagery. Gorgeous. It's a card of surrender though, of mental collapse. Okay. This is where the sword breaks, where the mind breaks. Okay. This is clarity through breakdown. So you might have been breaking down lately. Oh, it's okay. The 10 of breath is the final breath before rebirth. It arrives when the mind has reached its limit. So when old ways of thinking, speaking, or framing reality no longer works. So the way you're thinking about something is being rebirthed. There may be grief, confusion, or even emotional numbness. But underneath it all is a subtle clarity. This story is done. Okay. The sword breaking is not punishment, it is completion. You are laying down the sword of over analysis, of self attack, or control. You are giving the mind what it rarely receives, which is permission to stop overthinking. Okay. This card marks the sacred death of mental identity and the breath pauses, and then something new begins. Okay, the oversoul may feel quiet here, not because it has left, but because it's clearing space for deeper remembrance to enter. Which means that the way that you're thinking about things, something that is an ego death. Okay, the way that you have been thinking about things no longer serve you, and so they're starting to crumble. And as they crumble, new things are emerging. Okay, so there's a new way of thinking that's coming in. So we got a seed is being planted, and the way that you're thinking about things is changing. Like there's a need for you to give yourself permission to stop overthinking, stop attacking yourself, stop trying to have control. Okay. And then the last theme is the Ten of Waters. Okay. So you got a lot of completion energy, you got a new beginning coming. So good so far. Okay. The Ten of Waters. Look at us, beautiful Black folk. The flame family. Okay. This is the Ten of Waters. Okay. The Ten of Waters is the accumulation of emotional sovereignty, a return to soul connected community, partnership, or inner union. It marks a time when the heart is at peace, not because it is alone or attached, but because it has found its reflection in others who remember. This is not about blood family, it's about flame family, beings, guides, or soul allies who see your essence and say, we know now, we know you. It may manifest as sacred partnership, deep friendship, or even an inner feeling of being held by spirit. It's the reminder that you do not walk alone. Sometimes this card points to inner harmony, the balancing of masculine and feminine energies, or the completion of a personal healing cycle that allows for true reciprocity. You're no longer searching, you are arriving. So the lesson of this card is when you know who you are, your soul king can find you, okay? So the things that I kind of feel around this energy is either there needs to be a balance between your thoughts and your action. Your thoughts and your emotions aligning so you can take the appropriate action, or you are starting to magnetize the people who are for you towards you. Okay. So those are the themes that are coming up for you right now. Something's being planted. There's a completion in the way that you used to think about something. There's a collapsing there, and then you're either pulling your soul family to you, or there needs to be inner harmony. Your thoughts and your emotions need to align so you can take the appropriate action. We had no fucking business. We had zero business. This all has come up this week. It's great confirmation for me. Good. I love that. Okay. Where's she at right now? And it came out of nowhere. Devotion. Okay. Period. Give me another one. Where is she at right now? Okay. Ooh, a lot of stone energy. So there's a lot of movement around whatever you're creating. Okay. So we get the stone of devotion, the 8 of stones. Okay. And then we get the 9 of stone, which is the self-anointed one. Okay. Okay. So the 8 of stone. I just want to do the ad libs. That's it. Anyways, the 8 of stone honors the path of embodied mastery. Here the flame settles into the hands. You are no longer simply dreaming, you are doing. Through consistent persistence, your sacred craft begins to, I'm so distracted, I cannot. It's like playing in the side of my head. Okay, hold on 1 second. Anyways, I can imagine the part that is coming up. Okay, so anyways, the 8 of stone honors the path of embodied mastery. Here the flame settles into the hands. You are no longer simply dreaming, you are doing. Through consistent presence, your sacred craft begins to reveal itself. It's not about perfection, it's about devotion, okay? It's about devotion. This card marks a time of focused creation where practice becomes prayer and repetition becomes a revelation. Whether you're building something physical, nurturing a service, or deepening your spiritual walk, this invitation is to show up with integrity and rhythm. Meaning you got to listen to your body in the process of you building whatever you're building. You need to listen to your body. It's okay to rest when you need to rest. When you get that spark of energy, that's when you want to work. You are learning how to anchor your flame into earth by committing to what is yours to create. The devoted craft is not glamorous. It may be solitary, but it is holy, meaning you might have to do this by yourself. You might have to walk this path by yourself, okay? But it is a holy path to walk, all right? This is where your legacy begins, not in the finished result, but in the way you love the becoming. Okay. In the way you love the becoming. So this lesson is about mastery. It's not what you achieve, but how you return. Okay. And then the 9 stones. Okay. So many times it's given me trauma at it. But this is the 9 of stone. I promise y'all, he was actually finer on the first time I designed this card, but as you keep going, it just keeps changing. Anyways, the 9 of stone. So the 9 of stone is the card of embodying. Hold on. Okay, so the first card is embodied mastery, and the second card is embodied sovereignty. Okay, so you have walked through waiting, through loss, through effort, and now you arrive at a sacred stillness that says, I know who I am. This is not a boast, but a reclamation. You no longer seek external anointing because you've chosen yourself, meaning you don't really necessarily care what everybody else has to say about this, right? Or whatever it is that you create. And like, this is your path to choose, your vision. And sometimes people don't see that vision. This card often appears when your soul harvest is ripening. There may be material success, emotional fulfillment, or simply a deep rooted peace in who you've become. You are flourishing not because you were chosen by others, but because you chose to stay true through the unseen seasons. To pull this card is to receive a reminder that your inner wealth, the kind that cannot be revoked, your inner wealth cannot be revoked. You are allowed to rest in your glow. You are allowed to enjoy the garden you grew with your own hands. Okay, so the lesson is you don't need permission to take up space. Okay, you don't need permission to take up sacred space. Okay, so that's where you are right now. You're building something and you're stepping into this energy of your authenticity. Okay, and then where are you going? Where are you on the remembrance path? I got to turn this back on because it's just playing in my head anyway. Might as well just put it back on. All right. Child. Okay. One more card. Where are we going on our remembrance path? What's next? It's all stone energy, my love. Well, I don't know what you're building, but you're building something. So you get the 3 of stone. Gorgeous. You got the triple knot at the top. Okay, the 3 of stone. And then we get the king of stone. Mastery in the business realm. Okay. That's the king. Our king. Period. All right. So okay. The 3 of stone arises when the flame begins to take form with others. It marks a time of sacred effort where your gifts are met and mirrored by the talent of others. Play this at my funeral. No, I'm just playing. I don't know if I'm playing or not. I mean, at least the reception. Anyways, it doesn't matter. The 3 of stone arrives when the flame begins to take form with others. It marks a time of shared effort where your gifts are met and mirrored by the talents of others. This is not mere teamwork, it's collaboration through frequency. Each person holds a piece of the blueprint. Together you build the temple. This card affirms that you're not meant to do everything alone. Whether you're calling in soul clients, creative allies, or mentors, support is aligning around you. Okay, so that business about to flourish, girl. You are being asked to honor your contribution, speak your vision, and co-create with clarity and trust. When you pull this card, reflect, who is building beside me? Do I allow others to witness and contribute to my work? This is a moment to receive help. Give your part with devotion, and remember, you're not here to carry the vision alone. The lesson here is your soul work expands when others are invited to shape it. Okay, and then this is the last one, the Stone King. Okay, the King of Stone. Okay, the King of Stone is the keeper of sacred infrastructure, the one who has built not only for themselves, but for the generations to come. This card signifies mature leadership rooted in integrity. Someone does not hold power, but honors what understands that stewardship is not control, it is care. You may be called now to lead, to mentor, to provide, or guide others from your grounded wisdom. You are in a position to shape systems that hold others or tend to physical structures like businesses, homes, schools, spaces that reflect spiritual value. There is also a call to reclaim relationships with material within the material reality, the body, the earth, your finances, your offerings. None are distractions from this path. They are the path. Okay. So you're being asked to step fully into embodied sovereignty and create from a place of calm and ethical vision. The lesson is sacred power is not domination, it's devotion and structure. Okay. So both of these, all of these cards really are about embodying sovereignty. Okay. So the ritual here is to create a small altar with 4 objects representing the elements or pillars of your life. Okay? Body. So you want one object that is for the body, represents the body. Another object that represents your purpose. Another object that represents your home, and another object that represents wealth. Okay. I like to do a quarter. I like to do a quarter for wealth. Okay. Place a stone or crystal in the center of these 4 objects and speak, I honor what I hold. I build in alignment. Write one intention for each pillar and commit to a sustainable action to support each one this month. Okay? Okay, girl. Now tell us about the business. Don't you have like a cookie, or I mean your name is Sister Treats. But are you starting a business again? Because I know the last time we talked, I thought you were moving in a different direction, or you had lost your drive or something. Yep, I have a baking business. Okay. See? Are you starting it back up? I mean, it feels like that there's something seeding, something new, a new momentum that's coming your way when it comes to business. Doing different things. Okay, good. Collaborations should be coming your, I mean, collaborations are an option for you, my love, based on what I'm seeing here. I'll probably be on for 30 more minutes, y'all. So if y'all want a 1-card pull, it's $11. 3-card pull, $22. Full reading, $33. Amping up my treats. I love that. Period. I love that for you. I love that. That's exciting because last time we talked, we were talking about you being tired or feeling like it was an obligation, or maybe I told you that's what it was. Look at this. This is one of my favorite cards. Look at the details in the grid behind it. Like, look at this, y'all. Look at the details. And it's even in her body. Her body is a part of the grid. You know, you see that her body is a part of the grid. Trying to run into my living room to write notes. Oh, this will be on YouTube. So I just stayed in my room and wrote, LOL. Sending for a 3-card pull. Okay, Nikki Nix. Do you need the Zelle or the Cash App, or you got it? But yeah, I get on Tuesdays and Thursdays and do readings. And then again, for the next couple of weeks, since I'm taking a break from before we start the New Earth Spiral on the Atlantis series, we're going to do some flame lineage mapping for people. So I'm really excited. So make sure y'all join tomorrow at 1 o'clock so that we can do some flame mapping. Now I'm dancing. LOL. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to use my deck now, period. I got it. Since it's a Cash App. Okay. If you have time, I would like a 1-card pull. Okay. Yeah, I got time. You can send it to my Cash App is Big Taj, BIGTAJJJ, 3 J's. And my Zelle is TAJAMOORE 16 @gmail. Okay. I got you. Nikki Nix. So we got a 3-card pull for Nikki Nix. All right, girl. Let's see where you at, girl. I'll never get tired, I promise. The early Sierra, I wish she would turn, like, she always want to pop dance and shit. Girl, stop that. Bring this back. Bring this Sierra back. Can you put the Zelle in the chat, please? Yeah, hold on. No, for real. Like I used to be in my living room right after school. Like right after school, I did not hit it. And that was my workout. My workout, I don't know if it'll let me put it in the I love because that I put it in the chat, they delete it. And it's probably because it's like I had the routine down. Okay. I don't know if it put it in there, my love, but if it didn't, let me know when you're ready and I can say it again. Can you see it? No, it's my email, TAJAMOORE16 And I know that I should all the time. All right, Nikki Nix, let's get your first card, my love. Let's see where you at and where you energy you come out of. What was the energy that you used to be? This is for Nikki Nix. Girl, hold on. I got 4 cards. Okay. A lot of us got to learn how to prioritize ourselves, man. So we trying to think of what energy you come. 4 done came out, and that's what we gonna go with. Okay. And then I'll move on to the next layer. Okay. So the first card that I get for you is the Queen of Breath. I got half of mine to put this back in and redo it, but I'm just gonna go with it because it might be a message you need to. Okay. This is the Queen of Breath. Okay. She's the breath mirror. Look at her. You cannot tell me that's not your auntie. You cannot tell me that it's not your auntie. Yes, $11 for the 1 card pool. But I'm also gonna do like I have my other deck as well that I still do for y'all as well. Okay. All right. So the Queen of Breath is the discernment. Okay. So the Queen of Breath doesn't just speak truth. Her presence alone communicates clarity. She's moved beyond performance and now trusts her resonance more than her words. When this card appears, it reflects a phase of powerful inner knowing where your truth no longer needs to be defended, only held. She discerns precisely, speaks rarely, and when she does, the air shifts. This queen teaches that discernment is not judgment, it is alignment. You may find letting the prove, explore, or win. You simply are, and your presence becomes the message. Okay. The lesson here is that true clarity does not perform, it emanates. Can you give me some confirmation, Nikki Nick? Does that resonate with you? Okay, good. The next card is the 4 of Water, the numb flame. This is somebody who has been emotionally numbing. This is the card of disconnection. Okay. You can see she's focused on these cups. She don't even see the golden cup over here, right? Okay. So the 4 of Waters appears when your heart has gone quiet. Okay, my love, I got you. They all flew out together. So, baby, we're going to have to just look at them all. Okay. So the 4 of Water appears when your heart has gone quiet, not from peace, but from disconnect. Life may feel dull, emotionally distant, or uninspired. What once lit your soul now barely flickers. It is a sacred stillness that can be mistaken for peace. But if you listen closely, you'll hear a flame asking, "Do you still feel me?" Which means that in some capacity in your life, you have chosen to numb. And to you, you might be saying to yourself, "Well, I'm just trying to keep my peace." So you could have also isolated from other people and stuff like that. And it's like, I'm trying to keep my peace. But what's really happening is that you're trying to protect yourself from pain. Okay, that's what that is. That's what happens in this card. Okay, I would like a 1 card pull, please, if you have time. Yes, I got you, Sunflower. Just send the payment to my Cash App or my Zelle, and I'll just keep going as we go. Okay. This card marks a threshold of emotional numbness, a natural pause after emotional overwhelm or grief, but one that can linger too long if left unacknowledged. Okay, meaning you probably needed a break. Yes, I've over isolated. Yes. So there you might be valid in the need for your break, however, you stayed there too long. Okay, so you may find it difficult to receive beauty, connection, or joy, but the spark is not gone. It's simply hidden beneath fatigue and self protection or disappointment, meaning there's probably some type of trauma that has happened and you are just trying to protect yourself. You are being called to gently reawaken your flame. not with force, but with small acts of tenderness. The heart remembers through slow permission. Okay. So numbness is not absence, it is a soul waiting to be invited back. Okay. So you have the discernment, and then you have the shutting down. Okay. The disconnection because you're trying to protect yourself. Okay. Or protect your peace, however you like to say it. Okay. Next is the King of Waters, which means another thing is emotional mastery, meaning you got to feel your feelings, my love. Emotional mastery. Okay. That's next. Now, again, I am teaching y'all the cards as I go. Okay. So we're going to read this again. Y'all should know the King of Waters by the end of this. In fact, y'all should know the King of Waters by the end of this. Okay. So the King of Waters is the mature flame of the emotional realm, a guide, a steward, a quiet force of depth and grace. This was diabolical. I wanna pregnant. Girl, I'm not taking you back. It's not my baby. Anyways, he has faced grief and joy, longing and loss, and has not turned away. Instead, he has learned how to hold it all and to lead from stillness. Okay, my love, I got you. This card appears when you are ready to embody emotional integrity, to speak with compassion without collapsing, to support others without self-erasure. You are being called to bring your full emotional intelligence into form, not as a reaction, but as presence, meaning you got to sit present with your emotions. This king teaches that true strength does not come from hardening, but from learning how to feel with discernment. Okay. He models what it means to respond and not absorb. And he shows you that love, when anchored in wisdom, can transform. Okay. So this emotional power is not loud. It is steady though. Okay. So you got to learn how to master the emotions. And then the next card is Sacred Exchange. Okay. That's 3 people this card has come out for. This means things have to be mutual. You got to make sure that when you move into relationships from now on, you got to make sure you get in mutual. Okay. That is just beautiful. Look at the top. Look at that. Gorgeous. Okay. It's about reciprocity. The 6 of Stones is the moment where energy begins to flow again, where what was once withheld now returns in sacred rhythm. This is a card of reciprocity, not as transaction, but as mutual recognition of worth. Okay. It honors the sacred exchange between beings, between soul offerings, and those meant to receive them. When you pull this card, you may find yourself in the season of balanced giving. You may be asked to receive support without guilt or to give from overflow rather than obligation. Your soul work is worthy of compensation. Your presence deserving of rest, and your body worthy of care. The sacred exchange affirms that resources are not inherently scarce. They move where they are welcomed, valued, and honored. This card invites you to bless the flow, to speak your needs, and to engage in aligned offering. Okay? Your gifts were not meant to move through others. Your gifts were meant to move through others, not stay caged. What this is basically saying is reciprocity is important. All relationships are give and take. You need to figure out how much you're willing to invest in your community and what you want in return every single time. What I would do is don't commit to anything in the moment. I forgot about this one. You know, everything needs to be built on mutual respect, though. You gotta be comfortable asking for what you need too, though. Yep, I've had that issue. Okay, good. So, where is she at right now? I mean, 3 cards came out that I feel like kind of hit it on the nail, but we'll still see. If not where she is right now, where is she moving to? Can I take longer? Okay, there we go. All right. So we got the 5 of Stones. This is about sacred lack. Okay. Okay, you see all the stones around him. None of them are lit up, but the one in his hand that's really small. Okay, this is sacred lack. And then where you're moving to. Look how gorgeous she is. This is the Ace of Breath. Gorgeous. I couldn't have did it better than I did. Okay. So the Five of Stone. The Five of Stone is the stone, or the Five of Stone marks a season of emptiness, a moment when the world may feel cold, distant, or unsupportive. You may be facing rejection, financial difficulty, or a loss of support, and yet beneath the surface, something deeper is stirring. This card is not punishment, it is a sacred excavation, a stripping away of external validation so you remember your inherent worth without it. It often arrives when your soul is evolving, but your external reality has not caught up. You're not being forgotten, you are being forged. Okay, when I pull this card, or when you pull this card, you're being asked to look for what cannot be taken, which is your essence, your flame, your remembrance. Okay, it is a time to return to your roots and to tend to your inner altar and to rebuild from the inside out. Okay, which means what? Self-love. That means self-love. It's time for you to meet your own needs. It's time for you to tend to yourself. It's time for you to put your mask on. It's time for you to show yourself that you are worthy. Okay? So the lesson is, what you truly are cannot be lost. It can only be remembered. Okay? So that's where you are right now. This is where you're going. The eighth breath. Okay? Jamie is underrated. He's underrated. He's underrated. Okay? Anyways, the Ace of Breath signals the return of clarity. Okay, so clarity is coming. After confusion, distortion, or silence, the first clear truth begins to rise from within. This is the moment of mental coherence, when the fog lifts and you remember something about your soul's voice that cannot be ignored. It may come through a sudden realization, a phrase you speak out loud, or a knowing that pierces through illusion. This is the Oversoul speaking. It does not shout, it cuts, meaning it's something you cannot ignore. It kind of haunts you in the back of your fucking head, okay? This is the first truth, and it does not always feel comfortable, but it will feel clean, meaning you're probably going to have to get uncomfortable, okay? When this card appears, you are being asked to trust your inner voice, name what you know, and to allow your truth to anchor into language, into thought, or into aligned decisions. So you need to kind of sit and make sure that the next step that you make is aligned with who you are. Okay, so the tending of the self. Okay, when the first truth arises, let it breathe before you bury it. So the ritual that I would like you to do, and I'm actually give you two based off of the Five of Stone. Hey, Deja girl. Based off of the Five of Stone and also off of the Ace of Breath. Okay, so let's go to the Five of Stone real quick. The Five of Stone, the ritual here is, it's about the inner altar of remembrance, okay? Since this is where you are right now, this is where we're going to give you the ritual, okay? So create a small altar space using items that bring you comfort, okay? This can be photos, it could be dried flowers, it could be symbols of resilience, it could be crystals, okay? Light a candle and sit in silence and say, though I may feel empty, I am still whole. Though I may feel forgotten, I remember myself. Offer one word out loud that describes what you still carry. And then end it with, I rise from sacred lack into sacred knowing. Okay? If you didn't catch all that, go to my website, go to Tarot Descriptions, scroll to the bottom, Tarot Descriptions, the Five of Stones. Okay? Everything is on my website. Even if you want to go do a one card pull, by you just looking at the card that calls your name, that's okay. Now let's do the ritual for the Ace of Breath. Y'all heard him one time. I was in a club in Orlando when I was probably like 22, 23. And I'm upstairs in the section. We party, we whatever. I had some basketball friends. Doesn't matter. This man, Mario, comes into the club and he gets on the mic and he starts singing. Right? He sounds just like the motherfucking record. Like nothing different, nothing changed, if not better. If not better. But the voice has always gave. Okay? I literally was talking about trying to figure out my next move. Yeah. So this is what you're working towards, the Ace of Stillness, which means you need to sit in silence, okay? Sit in silence and take 10 conscious breaths, letting each exhale clear mental clutter. So literally, I would close my eyes and I would imagine like a bunch of fog in my head. And then as you take these 10 conscious breaths, see the darkness coming out of your mouth, or see the energy. I always see it as darkness, like grayish, darkish energy. And like with every breath, breathe in light through your heart and then breathe out the darkness, the mental fog, like literally see it coming from your head and out your mouth. Okay. When you feel ready, speak aloud. I open to the truth I already carry. Begin to free write or voice record the first sentence or phrase that arises for you. Don't analyze it. Don't judge it. Just receive it. When the message is complete, light a candle and declare, this truth is sacred. I choose to live in coherence. Keep the phrase somewhere visible for 7 days so you can keep walking past it. Okay. Now I will say this. I do a lot of oversoul work. I work with my oversoul because I've embodied my oversoul. So when I am trying to enter into memory vaults to get like soul contracts and stuff like that, I will ask a question, and how quickly that shit shows up is insane. Before I can even finish the full sentence, I'm already getting the answer. There's not enough of us who sit in silence with ourselves and ask the questions that we need to ask. Your body knows. Your body will respond to you, and it comes through your heart, right? Your body will respond to you. You just got to ask the question. All of us, there's so many of us going outside of ourselves looking for the answers when we can literally just sit with ourselves and ask ourselves. This was a bop. That's for you, Nikki Nix. Let me pull you some cards from my other Codex real quick. What does Nikki Nix need? Okay, that flew out. Damn, they almost hit me in the face. Okay, so Nikki Nick, we get the collapsed contract. You've been living a karmic contract that ends in self-destruction. The message, it ends now. You are free to rewrite the outcome. Don't think that you're powerless or you helpless or that you can't live the life that you want. You actually can, but you got to be willing to sacrifice that. So that's what it is you're doing. Okay. And then I get the gate and the threshold keeper. Okay. This is a gift. The gate opener and the threshold keeper. Come here, girl, call me my phone. She did not. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not kidding. But, anyways, the function. This card initiates others through rites, death, and birth, dimensional thresholds. Okay. The lineages associated with this energy are pale violet, gold, or the Syrah flame or Syrah codes. Because there's a lot of people who have the Syrah codes. Okay. The gift creates transformation portals, opens inner passageways, and guides soul transition. Okay, so there might be a place for you as like a death doula or like a doula in general, a soul doula. Okay, the shadow side is the fear of losing yourself and other people, or becoming stuck in the threshold. And what that means is like some of us are here to alchemize trauma. We're supposed to help other people through their trauma, but what happens is we get stuck in our own, right? And we're not able to transmute our own emotional energy and stuff. I've been thinking about being a doula. That might be for you, girl, because you're a threshold keeper, okay? Which means that you're gonna be really good when people are going through life changes, like giving birth is a life change, getting married is a life change, somebody dying is a life change. You do really, really well in those spaces if you have alchemized and dealt with what you needed to deal with. Girl, you on point, spirit speak, period. I'm a mirror, baby. I just mirror back what we already know. Okay? Trauma. Yeah. Okay? When you learn how to actually alchemize your trauma, or when you've been through a traumatic experience, it's because you're supposed to help other people who are going through that same shit. So you got to learn how to alchemize and embody the example you want to see by people witnessing you, just people see you. I was even there when my grandpa passed. For some reason, felt the need to put my hand on his chest. Yeah, me too. Oh, that's intuitive. That's intuitive awareness, my love. As he took his last breaths. Yeah, that's intuitive awareness, my love. That's it. That you calm his heart as he was passing. Our hands are portals. Did we just find a new career for you, girl? Let me know. Okay, so we got a 1 card pull for Kia. And then we got a card for Adrian, which I'm assuming is son. Okay. Don't miss it all. Okay, this system help. Okay. My card being on the bottom of the deck is crazy. Oh, that's your nickname. Oh, wow. That must have been confirmation for you, my love. But that's my energy. The Sarah flame. Okay, so this is for you, Kia. Hold on, let me go back. I need to. Is Kia Ray? Ray, are you Kia? Yeah, that's me. Okay. I don't know why it came through as $1 and then a 10. Okay, so it came through as two things. Okay. Got you. So we're doing a 1 card pull for you, my love. And whatever comes out, comes out. So if a couple come out, they come out. And I'll give you a one my other deck as well. Okay. Carrie too. She was like that song. Love was my callback tone, and I had to keep recording it. Y'all don't know nothing about having to work for shit. Okay, I had to keep recording it and replaying the song and recording the perfect part, just hooting and hollering on my damn voicemail. People used to be like, Taja, what is that screaming on your voicemail? My motherfucking business. This is my phone. I get to decide. It's like, oh my gosh, all that hollering on your voice. Then don't leave a voicemail. Hang up. I probably don't need to hear whatever your negative ass got to say anyway. But Carrie was that girl. Okay, this is for Ray. What does Ray need to know right now? Okay. I'm going to just do another one just because my hand's still moving. Okay, girl. We got some action. We got the King of Breath and we got the Knight of Waters. Look at her on a dolphin. She's that girl. Okay. We got the King of Breath and the Knight of Waters. Oh, nope. Knight of Waters, King of Breath. Okay. My enemy. All right, my love. So we got the King of Breath first. Okay. So this is a wisdom card, okay? So the King of Breath is the steward of divine logic. He has moved through chaos, through doubt, through the ache, and now speaks from distilled clarity. This card appears when you are being called to lead with truth, not just hold it, okay? You may be stepping into a teaching role, a position of influence, or offering guidance rooted in experience, meaning that you've probably been through something that other people are navigating and you are meant to help them navigate it based on the wisdom that you gain from your own experiences, okay? So you might be somebody who's meant to storytell or somebody who's meant to be vulnerable in their experience. The king builds systems of clarity, spoken frameworks, soul-aligned curriculum, and sacred conversation. He teaches not to dominate, but to liberate minds, okay? Meaning like empowering other people. His truth is structured yet fluid. He doesn't speak to be right. He speaks to serve the remembrance of other people, meaning you don't need to convince. You don't need to convince. You cannot tell me that's not your granddaddy. This is your granddaddy. You're being asked, what do you know now that must be shared? Okay. What wisdom can be channeled, not from control, but from care? Okay. And this is the highest truth. The lesson is the highest truth is the one that uplifts others, not just yourself. Okay. Definitely, Papa. You doing readings from your cards. I am, my love. I'm doing 1 card pulls for 11, 3 card pulls for 22, full readings for 33. Cash App, Big Taj with 3 J's. Zelle, Taja Moore 16 at Gmail. Okay? You cannot tell me that's not Papa. That's very much so giving Papa. Okay? And then we got the Knight of Waters. That's your fine big cousin, your fine big sister. Right? Every time, the Knight of Waters. Now, this is one of my favorite cards. Okay? You know, let me tell you something. And this is just an interjection. I was on TikTok, and it was a girl who was like, I was trying to convince my friend that Beyonce, I mean, her cousin or whoever, that Beyonce eats. And so she was sending her songs for her to listen, and she sent her speechless. And she was like, yeah, I'm not impressed. Speechless? Are you sick? What planet are you living on? What planet are you living on? And I listen, this is one of my favorite Beyonce songs. So I was just like, you're unimpressed. You're a Capricorn. You gotta be. Ain't no way you nothing else. Only a Capricorn would say some shit like that. Anyways, Knight of Waters. The Knight of Waters is the lover, the dreamer, the seeker of soul connection. This knight does not charge with logic. They move with emotion, intuition, and desire, which means you probably balance these two energies out, okay? You probably are mind and emotion. You probably move from thoughts, but also emotions, okay? The fact I'm a Capricorn rising, LOL, but she did eat on this song. Wait, are you a Beyonce hater? Because I didn't even mean to target you at like, you know, hit you with that straight. But at the same time, I hope you felt it because this song eats. Anyways, hold on, let me stop playing so I can get you this reading though. The Knight of Waters is the lover, the dreamer, the seeker of soul connection. This knight does not charge with logic. They move with emotion, intuition, and desire. You may be entering a phase of deep emotional openness, romantic pursuit, or creative inspiration guided by your heart. Meaning maybe you're being told not to be all mind and maybe drop into your heart a little bit more. Okay, this card signals movements towards something that stirs in your soul, whether it's a person, a dream, or a cause. You feel it pulling you. And so you follow, not because it's rational, but because it feels like truth, which means that you might be overthinking something. Okay, you might be overthinking something. You might be too much in your mind when you need to be in this Knight of Waters energy. Okay, you need to trust whatever is coming up as your truth. You need to trust it and go and feel into it. Feel the truth of the situation and not do it based off of rationale. Okay, this night asks you to trust the tide, to ride the current of emotion, express love freely, and say what you feel. There's a great beauty in your tenderness. Just remember to carry discernment as you move, meaning you got to trust yourself, but you also got to use discernment, okay? The lesson here is let your heart lead, but bring your whole self with you, okay? Now, does that make sense, my love? Does that resonate? You got me. Because this is about mental mastery. And this is about leading with your heart. There's a calling that's been calling you, and you hear the call. Now you just got to trust yourself. Okay, I got you, Deja. Okay. Let me pull from the other deck for you. It does a lot. I've been balancing. Okay, yeah. There needs to be a balance between the heart and the mind. The mind can't win, though. So if you're thinking of things logically, but you got a Capricorn rising. I mean, Capricorn energy to me is the energy of I can't. I feel like Capricorns have self-imposed limitations, meaning they tell themselves, well, that's not realistic, that's not practical, that's not this, when they don't need to be practical or realistic or any of those things. They just need to trust their heart and what they feel in their heart. You know, hey 4K. So I think whatever it is that you're doing right now, you need to trust yourself. Let your heart lead you. It might be scary. It might be hard, but let your heart lead you. Take the fucking leap, because on the other side of that, I can't energy, those self-imposed limitations when it comes to Capricorn energy is abundance. It is literally, so it's a time for you to bet on yourself. Okay. Along with this, this King of Water, this Knight of Water energy, which is what you need to kind of step into. I literally wanted to cuss that person out. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, what's crazy is I got the card of sacred yes. That's crazy. Like the flame of origin. Okay, we got a lot of stuff coming out for you, love. All right. So let me give you the ritual and then I'm gonna tell you what these other. So this is the Night of Waters, okay? So this is a heart compass invocation. What you want to do is close your eyes and place one hand over your heart and one over your navel. Breathe deeply until you feel a pulse beneath your palms, meaning like you'll kind of feel like a heartbeat, okay? Whisper, where do you want me to go? And then you need to listen. It may be a word, it may be an image, or it might be a pull towards something that you feel in your body. Then draw or write what you receive and affirm. I ride the wave of what's real, not just what's beautiful. Okay? This will be on YouTube too. Okay? Now, the card I get for you is the Sacred Yes. The Sacred Yes is your Oversoul is opening a new path for you. Alignment is here. This is the doorway. Enter with devotion, not fear, which means you got to release the fear. Okay, you got to be able to step out into the unknown without the path being clear for you. You got to be able to take the leap and just trust your intuition. Okay, the next card I get is the flame lineage of origin. It means that the primary lineage your soul came here to embody, and your the flame lineage of origin reveals the primary lineage the soul first carried in ancient oversoul form. Okay, which means that your true tone is coming back right now. You are remembering who you were before the fall. Okay, which means you probably have some ancient connection. And then the next card I get is the Anunnaki contract. Okay, which means that there was some distortion. That was a part of the fall. I don't know if you know what fall I'm talking about. I'm talking about Atlantis. But before Atlantis was the Lyra Falls. My energy comes from Lyra. Okay, it's the Sarah flame. Okay, the Anunnaki contract is an ancient soul tie to power misuse or technological overreach. So the message is the contract is ready to be rewritten. You probably came here to redo something that you did in a previous lifetime. I was just talking about certain things feeding off of fear earlier. Yeah. Make this spectacular. Let me lick you from your neck and see your back and shivering, tongue delivering. That ass is mine. All right. It's all right with you. That's cool. Okay. That's the message, my love. I think you need to trust yourself and also see that there's some ancient contracts that are coming up. I mean, your original tone is coming back. I think you actually, a lot of us came from the Lyran Falls into Atlantis. And the reason why we came into Atlantis is because we were going to, we could have at some level fell into distortion and we came here to redo. We came here to rewrite our story. Okay. Now that makes me want to look into past life regression. Thank you. You should. You should, my love. I'm actually in my flame reading tier 3. When I look at soul contracts and stuff like that, I feel into people's past lives. So if you're interested, that's available on my website, the flame readings. There's 3 different tiers, so just look at them. But it's the one that says the soul contract, soul vows. We're gonna do regression stuff. All right, so Adrian, Sunshine, where you at, my love? And then we're gonna do Deja. We got a 1 card pull for Sunshine. You look familiar, my love. I don't know. Maybe I did a reading. I probably did a reading for you before, but I don't know. Your face looks familiar. Must be nice. Okay. So we got a 1 card pull for you. Yes, girl. See, listen, I was listening to Stick Up Kid the other day when I was working out, and I was like, you know what? This was millennials YN. I'm Jayla's friend. Okay, hey girl. But I was listening to Stick Up Kid, and I was like, you know how the YNs are doing like YN R&B? That was our YN. That was our YN. He was doing a damn album straight from prison. And my cousins used to bump it. Oh, that's why you look familiar to me, love, because I did a clearing on you before. Okay. You know, I got to see your image in my head. Okay. Okay. So we're doing a one card pull for you, but whatever comes out, my love. She'll be by your side still. What is Adrian need right now? What's going on with Adrian? That hurt. Okay, damn. Slow down, 10 speed. I feel like I gotta pull another card for you, my love. I just gotta go with what my spirit is saying. Why am I like shaking? What's going on? Am I nervous? Are you nervous? Okay. Still the Queen of Stones. Okay. All right. So we got the Six of Waters. Okay, the Six of Waters. Look at him. Look at all these little cups lighting up for him. And you see that little god, that elder in the back? Yeah, intention. Intention. Okay. So let's talk about the Six of Waters. All right. Why do I keep getting hot? What's going on? This is a past life echo or childhood remembrance that's coming up. Okay. So this is the Six of Waters. The Six of Waters is a memory blooming in the heart. Okay. It may be from this lifetime, a sense, a place, a face that reminds you of who you used to be, or it may be something older, a soul memory rising from deep within the waters, a past life connection, an ancient longing, a gentle return. Okay. You got to understand something about your waters. Your waters hold memory. Okay. This card invites you to embrace sweet remembrance, not to live in the past, but to retrieve the parts of yourself you left behind there. It may be time to reconnect with your inner child, with early soul gifts, or with a person who carries familiarity beyond reason. Okay, this feeling is gentle, wistful, and warm. You are remembering not just what was, but who you've always been. Okay, the lesson here is memory is the map your soul left for you to follow home. Okay, so it feels like there's a soul memory that's coming up. Okay, might have something to do with an ancestor. Next, we have the Knight of Flame. This is my man. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, not really though. He fine. Okay, so we have the Knight of Flame, and he's the flame holder. I forgot about this. Okay. All right, so this is about bold action, okay? The Knight of Flame is a sacred messenger. When this card appears, your flame is no longer just within, it is on the move. You're being called to act boldly, to trust the fire within you enough to let it lead. There may be an invitation to share your truth, launch a creation, or speak on behalf of something that ignites your heart. This is a card of bravery and purpose-driven motion. The Knight is not afraid to be seen. They carry the flame into spaces that need it most, not to prove, but to transmit. You are being asked to move from aligned impulse, to let courage be a spiritual act, and to remember that your fire clears paths, not by hesitation, but by presence. The lesson here is that your flame was made to move. It liberates what it touches, okay? Which means that if you stagnate or if you're stuck in one place, it's time for you to take action, okay? This is about having courage, okay? This is about you pursuing your actual purpose, all right? And the last card is the Queen of Stones, okay? I forgot. This was my jam. Anyways, the Queen of Stones, okay? The Queen of Stone is the flaming form, an archetype of embodied sovereignty, rooted deeply in her truth and able to nourish others without abandoning herself. She mirrors what it looks like to live aligned with your body, your values, and your work in this world, not through performance, but through presence. This queen knows that true abundance begins within. She tends to herself from reverence so that what overflows from her can be given freely. Her energy is magnetic, stabilizing, and deeply nurturing to those around her. but it does not come from martyrdom. It comes from rootedness, which means that you need to be in your body. You need to pay attention to what your needs are, put your mask on first, and then you can help people from when you're in a state of abundance. But if you're not in a state of abundance, don't be generous with your time, your attention, your money, and all of that. Okay. When you pull this card, you're being invited into a deeper relationship with your body, your worth, and your sacred work. It may be time to claim space to receive or to embody your wisdom more publicly. You're not just here to give, you are here to thrive in your own radiance. Okay. This card's lesson is to nourish your others sustainably. You must become your own sanctuary. Okay. So the ritual here is to run a bath or foot soak and add salt, herbs, or oils that make you feel grounded. Light a candle and place your hand over your body, one area at a time, and say, "This body is holy. This vessel is worthy." Let the water restore your root. Afterwards, journal one way you can receive more support in your daily life. Okay, so that's the cards. And I'm gonna have to run that back. I ain't even gonna hold you. Let me put some cards for you from this deck. This is for Adrian. Okay. We got the silver blue flame popping out for you. Oh, yes, girl. Oh, this is another Adrian, my love. I've really been stuck in my head lately. Yeah, I think you got to get out of it. Okay, we got some gifts coming up for you too, my love. Damn. I just tried to move the deck and the card stuck to my hand. I got to give you all 4 of these. Oh, you got a lot of energies coming up. Okay. And that this doesn't mean that this is your actual primary frequencies. It's just the energies you're navigating right now. Okay. You got the silver blue flame lineage, which is one of my main lineages. It's about stillness and tone weaving. Okay. Now you also got the gift of tone weaving, which means this is probably one of your primary frequencies, the silver blue flame. It is a grief alchemist. Okay, which means you're probably going to deal with a lot of trauma and grief throughout your life. Sound anchors, people who have the silver blue flame are sound anchors, but they're also grief midwives, meaning they help other people transmute their pain or transmute their loss into clarity through vibration. Okay. But the shadow side of this energy is that it suppresses its own emotions and it suffers in silence. Okay. This is my jam. I just love me some Maya. She was the first person who looked like me. Anyways. Then you get the ruby flame, which is the flame of devotion and sacred tending. Okay. So the keywords here are heart altar, soul intimacy, and sacred repetition. The gifts are to tend to your inner flame with daily devotion. It creates sacred spaces of beauty and reverence, embodied living prayer. And the shadow side is self-neglect in service of other people. Fear of being unchosen or unseen, idolizing spiritual routines over living connections, meaning you might be escaping to the spiritual world instead of having connections with the people around you. Okay, that's the ruby flame. And then we get the gift of tone weaving. A tone weaver's function is to weave sound, frequency, and harmonic patterns. The lineages are going to be seraphim, opal, or sarai. The gift is they awaken remembrance through song, light language, vocal frequency, or resonance. The shadow is the silencing or toning yourself down or feeling like others don't hear you. Okay. And the last card is the solar flame lineage. This is gold, white, or deep amber frequencies. This energy is here to anchor divine sovereignty and soul leadership. The gates are the crown flame, the divine wheel, and oversoul embodiment. And this energy is often misunderstood as being too intense or too much. Designed to walk boldly into spaces and carry remembrance. They activate through voice, truth, and frequency command, and they are meant to restore authentic leadership without domination. Okay? That's how it's going to be. All right, we got Deja next. Well, yeah, I've been feeling pulled everywhere in my emotions. Yeah, I think there needs to be some grounding, my love. I'm a cat moon. We tough on ourselves. You right. Yeah. Yeah. As somebody who's heavy, I'm a Capricorn stellium. I'm a Capricorn Taurus with a Capricorn stellium, a Capricorn North Node and everything. Okay. Capricorn is just all over me. So I understand how hard it can be. But when you actually get out your own way, life is a lot different, you know, a lot different. Okay. This is for Khadijah. Khadijah, you got a full reading, my love. Are you still with me? How you gonna handle that? Let me get some water. My throat is dry. Okay, I see you liking the live. All right, girl. So these first three cards are the themes that are coming up in your life, okay? These are the three themes that are coming up in your life. This song is so underrated. Okay, Deja, girl. This is for you. Ooh, we got a card we haven't gotten tonight. I want to show y'all too. Ooh, 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 ooh. Hold up now. Okay. I gotta get away. All right. So the themes that are coming up in your life, we have the gatekeeper. Okay. I want y'all to see, y'all see these sigils and stuff. Those are sigils that are supposed to help y'all to remember y'all path. Okay. So you'll see them on a lot of different cards. Okay. Those are ancient sigils. Yeah. We really like that. You see that? The sigils. Okay. This is the flame keeper. And then we get the two of stones. One of my favorite visible cards. Look at that. Balance, baby. This is the two of stones. And then we get the five of waters. Okay. You see them energies in the back? This is the five of waters. Okay. So these are the themes that are coming up in your life, my love. Okay. So we're going to start with the seven of flame. Our black queen. Okay. The gatekeeper. This is about energetic boundaries. Hey, Rhea. Where have you been, my love? I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. Okay. I feel like I say that to you every time I see you as well, though. Just saw the new deck on YouTube. Yes, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I'm doing some readings right now. So the seven of flame is the call to protect what has been built, not from fear, but from discernment. At this stage, your flame has become potent enough to draw attention to you. Okay. Inquiries and perhaps resistance. Okay. Meaning people may be giving you a little bit of pushback when you speak your truth, when you stand in your authenticity. Okay. You're being asked to stand at the threshold of your sacred fire and decide what enters, what stays, and what must leave. This is not about defense through aggression. It is guardianship through clarity. Okay. The gatekeeper is the inner sovereign. It holds the truth that not all feedback is truth. Not all energy is meant to be held, and not every invitation is aligned. And what I mean by that is other people truth for you don't got to be your truth of you. When you know yourself, you don't got to take on what people say to you as your truth. Okay. Not all feedback that you're getting from people is an invitation, meaning like maybe some people walk up to you and be like, oh, you lack humility or you lack this. You don't got to. Okay, cool. Thank you for the feedback. Right. That's what this card is really saying. So you are being called to trust your instincts, refine your boundaries, and remember your flame is not for everyone, but it is for someone. Meaning maybe you're just not the tea they supposed to be sipping. What did Maya say? Maybe you're just not the soda they like. Okay. The lesson is the flame remains pure, not by isolation, but by integrity. Meaning you don't have to isolate yourself from people. You don't have to separate yourself from people. You just need to stand in your integrity and stand in your truth. Whoever don't feel it, fuck them. Okay. Next is the two of stone. Sometimes it's not for them to get, and it's not your job to convince nobody of who you are, that you're worthy of them seeing you. Okay. This is the two of stone. Okay. The energy harmony. Okay. So the two of stone is the temple dance where go and life asks you to tend to your energy with grace. This is the card of balance. not as perfection, because balance has nothing to do with perfection. Perfection comes from performance culture. Okay. Your flame is never going to be something that you have to earn. Okay. So it's not about perfection. It's about conscious engagement. You need to be conscious. You need to set intention. Okay. You may be weighing your options, managing your time, or juggling responsibilities. The key is not to drop everything in pursuit of peace, but to listen to your inner rhythm, meaning you need to be in alignment with yourself. Okay. This card often appears when your soul offering is beginning to move. Okay. And your capacity must evolve with it. Okay. So your capacity to hold things, your capacity to navigate things. You are learning how to honor the sacred cycles of work and rest. You need to rest as you, okay? And stillness, receiving and giving. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what is aligned, okay? So this card is telling you you don't need to perform, you don't need to do more, because society tells you that men have to do more, they have to produce, women have to give more. They have to make everybody feel good, right? You don't have to do more. You just need to anchor into your flame. You need to listen to your body, okay? You need to listen to your body, okay? So when you pull this card, check in. What is being overextended? Where is there too much weight? The Two of Stone invites you to restore the flow. One breath at a time, okay? So listen, balance is not stillness. It is a living rhythm, okay? You got to find your own body's rhythm, and you got to align yourself with that, okay? Then the next card is this. Oh, girl, you got an 8th house stellium? Mine's is in the 3rd house. My son is in my 8th house, though. So that's treacherous. This is the 5 of Waters, okay? The grief gate. This is the third thing that's coming up in your life, okay? The grief gate. Okay. So the 5 of Waters is about emotional release. It's about sacred sorrow. Okay. So the 5 of Waters marks a threshold of sorrow, a sacred aching space where something once held dear is lost or transforming. It may be a death of a relationship, the ending of a dream, or a rising of an old pain that has waited lifetimes to be felt. Okay. Grief is not a detour. It is a rite of passage. When this card appears, you are being asked to honor what has been lost without rushing to fix it or transcend it. Meaning, don't try to just rush through it, because again, we live in a society that tells us we got to perform, we got to do more, we got to do things quickly, right? Don't rush it. Don't be on nobody else's timing but your body's timing. Don't feel like you got to fix it. Sometimes you just got to sit with it. Okay, but we'll rush into trying to transcend it so we can get over it and get through it. You know, sit in the discomfort of things. Okay. Water must move to remain clear, and grief is the current that carries your heartbreak to wholeness. Grief just means that you loved. Okay. Grief is very sacred. Underneath all that grief and alchemizing it are the ancient codes that you hold. Okay. So you got to alchemize that grief. You got to feel it in order for you to be whole again. You are not broken. You are being baptized. You are not weak. You are being made more human. Okay. The lesson with this card is grief is not the end of the story. It is the sacred turning of the page. Okay. So those are the 3 things that are coming up in your life. There's a need for energetic boundaries and a need for you to stand in your truth, regardless of who feels it. There's a need for balance. When it comes to, hold on, what is this card? Getting into rhythm with your body, you know, making sure that everything is reciprocal, making sure that your choices align with who you are. And then there's this energy of grief that's coming up as well. Okay. So where are you now on this journey? If these are the 3 things coming up, where are you currently? And then where are you going? Okay. Those are the next couple cards. So we need 2 cards of where are you currently with all of this? Okay. Okay. Okay, there we go. Oh, okay. So we got 2 cards coming out. We got the Page of Waters and the 4 of Stones. They don't really play nice together. Okay. We got the Page of Waters. Tickle our song, y'all. And the 4 of Stones. Okay. So first, the Page of Waters came out. Okay. The Page of Waters is about emotional openness and vulnerability. Okay. So the Page of Waters is the first stir of emotional expression. The tender one, learning how to carry the water without spilling it. Okay, meaning like you're learning how to deal with your emotional realm. Okay. This card signals a time of intuitive awakening, emotional vulnerability, and soft connection. You may be discovering new feelings, a gentle attraction, or receiving soul messages through dreams, art, or inner reflection. This page is the heart's apprentice. Curious, imaginative, and sometimes shy, they lead with feeling before logic. Okay, when this card appears, you are being invited into a more tender relationship with your own emotions. Okay, let the inner child speak, let the soul muse, let love emerge in simple, sacred ways. Okay, the lesson here is you don't need to be fluent in your feelings, you just need to be willing to feel them. Okay, then we get the guarded flame, the guarded stone. I'm sorry, the guarded flame from the Four of Stones. Okay, the Four of Stone. All right, this is about protection. This is about a scarcity. Okay, so the Four of Stone appears when you're holding something sacred, your energy, your resources, your time with great care. You've worked hard to establish a foundation, and now the instinct is to protect it at all costs. Meaning, you might have been somebody who had to fight for your peace. You might have been somebody who had to fight for where you are right now. And because you had to fight, you're trying to protect it at all costs. Okay, this card can indicate the early stages of stability. So income, security, clarity, but with it comes the question, can you trust it to last? Okay, can you trust it to last? Because anytime that you're closed off, anytime that you are guarded, you are repelling. Okay, so this card affirms your right to tend the flame. It's okay to say no. Okay, it's okay to pause. You are learning to protect what you've built without gripping it in fear. Okay, because we tend to grip at things that we feel like are hard to maintain or sustain. Okay, so in its highest expression, the guarded flame reminds us that boundaries are sacred containers, not walls. When this card appears, you need to ask yourself, am I guarding this flame to preserve it, or out of fear it will be taken away from me? This answer reveals where your safety is rooted. Okay, so the lesson here is guard your flame with love, not fear. Okay, so that's where you're at right now. You need to be a little bit more emotionally vulnerable, and you are guarded. Okay, so what are her next steps of remembrance? Where does she need to go? What energy does she need to embody? You need 2 cards. There's a soul contract coming up to be cleared, my love. What's the soul contract? Yep, there's a new beginning emotionally. There's an emotional soul contract coming up. Let me see if I can get one more card, because for some reason I feel like there's another card in here. The King of Waters. Okay. All right, my love. So we got the soul contract coming out again. Okay. The soul contract is coming out again. It just means that there's a contract that's coming up to be cleared. Okay. But again, since I'm trying to teach y'all the path to remembrance, I'm going to repeat this. Okay. So the soul contract card speaks of divine agreement written before incarnation, those between souls, lineages, or even timelines. When this card appears, you're being called to remember something unfolding now was chosen. The soul contract card arrives when you're being asked to remember the why beneath your incarnation. Before this lifetime, your oversoul inscribed certain agreements into your auric field, some related to healing, others to service, and many to divine timing. When this card appears, those soul contracts are now activating or resurfacing. There's a contract at play that holds evolutionary weight. Okay, meaning there's some evolution that's going to happen from this. You may be called to complete something begun long ago, perhaps in a past life or in the astral realm before birth. This may also be a moment you name what you came here to do, not in a performative way, but a sacred vow rising in your bones. It may involve a soul relationship, a sacred duty, or a life theme repeating in unmistakable ways. This card asks you to pause and inquire, what did your soul agree to carry, witness, or heal in this lifetime? What am I bound to complete, not as punishment, but as sacred fulfillment? This card can also indicate a contract with another soul, someone you are meant to walk with, mentor, or be mentored by, or unentangle karma altogether. There may be moments of deja vu, sudden clarity, or deep inner knowing that you've been here before. The soul contract is rarely loud, but it's never unsure. This is a card of remembrance. When aligned, it brings clarity, resolve, and a deep sense of spiritual purpose. You may not always like the contract, but you feel it in your bones as truth, okay? The lesson is you chose this not as punishment, but as purpose. You agreed to this path. Review the soul vows with reverence. Reverence. Yes, all my life I had to fight, period. Me too, girl. So next we get the Ace of Waters, which there's a new beginning emotionally that's emerging. Okay, so we get the Ace of Water. The soul is stirring. Something's coming up. Okay, something is coming up. Okay. The Ace of Waters signals the first stirring of your soul through feeling. It arrives like a whisper in the chest, a sudden ache, or a way a tear falls from no apparent reason. This card represents emotional ignition, the beginning of a new journey through the sacred waters of your heart. You may feel a sense of deja vu, or that somewhere or something is calling you back to yourself. It's tender, raw, and deeply spiritual. This is not just emotion, it's remembrance through feeling. You might be falling in love, reconnecting with creativity, or opening your own vulnerability in a way you never had before. The soul is waking through water, and what stirs cannot be ignored, meaning you might be emotionally uncomfortable right now. And if you are, it's because something is coming to the top. When the heart remembers, the soul returns, okay? And then we get the King of Waters, okay? Which means you're moving towards emotional mastery, okay? So the King of Waters is the King of Waters. Yes, it's very uncomfortable. It's because you're transmuting something's love. So the King of Water is the mature flame of the emotional realm. He is a guide, a steward, a quiet force of depth and grace. He has faced grief and joy, longing and loss, and has not turned away. Instead, he has learned how to hold it all and lead from stillness. This card appears when you are ready to embody emotional integrity, to speak with compassion without collapsing, to support others without self-erasure, meaning like you don't need to become less of yourself just to support other people, okay? You are being called to bring your full emotional intelligence into form, not as reaction, but as presence. This king teaches that true strength comes from heart, not hardening, but learning how to feel with discernment, okay? He models what it means to respond, not absorb, and he shows you that love, when anchored in wisdom, can transform you. Okay, the lesson: emotional power is not loud, but it is steady. Okay, it is reliable. Okay, so this is the ritual that I want you to do. Create a small altar space. Place one object from each. You need an object that represents grief, an object that represents joy, an object that represents love, and an object that represents truth. Okay, you want to sit before these objects in silence, acknowledging each without trying to fix or change them. Then you want to say out loud, I hold all parts of me with honor. Place your hand over your heart and declare, I lead with feeling, not frenzy. And let this altar remain for 7 days, refreshing the objects as needed. And when I mean refreshing, like either blow on them because your breath actually refreshes energy or clears, or you can smudge them with, sage or Palo Santo and incense, anything of that. Page and King of Waters for me. Yeah. So that's what I would do, and that's a heart altar that you can have in your life. I mean, in your room. Okay. Now let me pull some cards from my personal deck that you can't get in stores. Okay. Let's see what's coming up for you. Let's see if we got some soul gifts or some flame lineages emerging for you, my love. We got some gifts coming through. This is for Khadijah. What's for Khadijah? Okay, the sacred collapse is coming up. Okay, hold up now. Ooh. Girl, you got a whole book coming up. I'm gonna give you all of them. Oh yeah. All right, love. About 7 cards that came out, so I'm gonna give them to you all. Okay. The first card is the sacred collapse. What happens in a sacred collapse is a sacred unraveling initiated by fire. You are between yourselves, okay? Which means that whatever needs to fall away, let it fall away, okay? Your next form is arriving, so you have to be willing to let go of whatever needs to be let go of, Okay, so you can usher in your new self, because if old stuff is taking up the space, nothing new can come in. Okay, I also get the blue flame gatekeeper. Okay, that's the second gatekeeper energy we then got for you. This is a galactic contract activation. High discernment is required, meaning your flame is being noticed. Hold your frequency. Okay, this is the second time I said your flame is being noticed. Hold your frequency. So make sure before you go to sleep, you set your intention. Only the light of my oversoul may enter. Everything else is blocked. This is a sacred space of love and remembrance. That is it. Okay, you need to make sure you protect yourself and pay attention to who you are. Not everybody should have access to you right now. Okay, I get the collapse contract again. So we got the sacred collapse. Now we got a collapse contract. You've been living a karmic contract that ends in self-destruction. You need to end it now. Feel free to rewrite whatever that contract is. That's the second time contracts have came up. So this is confirmation. Okay. I get the flame steward coming up. And these are both gifts. Okay. These are both roles you came here to play. So the flame steward's function is to tend to the sacred fires of origin. Okay, this usually comes from gold, ruby, rose gold, or Sarah flame lineages. The gifts are stabilizing frequency fields, hold lineage remembrance, safeguard the integrity of teachings. Okay, the shadow side is that you burn out, you have martyrdom, meaning you prioritize everybody else's needs in front of your own, or you have a fear of responsibility. Okay, so that's the flame steward, meaning you came here to tend the flame, but it doesn't require you to save anybody. It only requires you to hold truth. Okay, hold compassion, hold presence, witness. Okay, the next card is the spiral teacher. The spiral teacher's oversoul gifts is it initiates remembrance through lived experience. Okay, the shadow side is over teaching without integration or spiritual superiority. So you got to be careful about your ego on this journey. The activation message is you carry the codes of remembrance in your scars. So a lot of the things that you have been through are preparation, they're initiation into what you came here to do. Teach only what you've embodied. Meaning like, if you haven't healed it, felt it, healed it, gained the wisdom from it, and it's still plaguing you, then that's not your time to tell other people how to navigate it. Okay. We also get the Lyran fragment, which means you probably came from the Lyran falls. A lot of us did. Okay. So this is past life pain from the Lyra collapse, resurfacing. It could have been from royalty, war, or Exodus memory. But what you need to understand, you did not fall. You survived, which means a lot of your grief probably doesn't even come from this lifetime. Okay, a lot of the trauma that you're experiencing probably doesn't even come from this lifetime. Okay, we also get the emerald flame, which is like the Queen of Stone. It's the womb wisdom and earth stewardship. It's the temple body anchor and root gate holder. This energy embodies healing and remembrance through touch, but it dissociates from its body and it neglects itself, its own nourishment. Okay. Also get the void womb, which is stillness, integration, and the soul cocoon, which means if nothing is wrong in your life right now, you are just being formed. Things are forming behind the scenes. So you have to just allow yourself to sit in the discomfort of things, right? And then I get the flame of shame, which is a shame wound is resurfacing right now, which could have come from somebody misjudging you. Okay, the message is you are not broken. You were blamed for your brilliance. So you might have a issue with letting yourself be seen or perceived. That needs to be alchemized. Okay, and then the last one is the flame of integration. The lineage currently moving in wholeness, often showing as a wound or a gift surfacing, meaning you are reclaiming what was lost in you. Okay, that's coming right now. All right, my love. How do you feel about that? That was a lot. I think that'll be my last one too, because I'm a little tapped. How do you feel about that, Deja? What about? This is terrible. That was everything I needed to hear. Period, Pooh. Well, I'll be back on Thursday doing readings. So I'll be back on Thursday doing readings. Tomorrow I'm gonna do a flame mapping reading, which is like if y'all are not on my live is tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I'm gonna be calling somebody up to do a free lineage reading where I figure out what they flame lineages are. So make sure y'all join. Most I felt I knew deep down. Period. Oh yeah, this is just about confirmation. I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know about yourself. Okay, I'm not even, this message is mirroring back to you what you already understand. Okay, the card of burnout on the bottom. Okay, so yeah, I will be live tomorrow to do a flame mapping, which is my flame readings. So you guys can get an understanding of what that reading is, and I'll post it on YouTube so you guys can pay attention to it, or see if it's a service that y'all actually want. And then on Thursday, I'll be back doing these type of readings as well. Okay, so I want y'all to have an amazing rest of y'all night. I love y'all deep, and I will talk to y'all soon. This will be on YouTube. Alrighty, bye.